Peter, good Philly cheese.
I'm gonna use my high horse.
It's not hard to cook chopped steak, people. It's hard to get good bread.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Sandman has entered. The Tigers are ready to be tamed.
And he goes, what we do if they get to 10,000? I'm like, well, it has to be something big.
This is absolutely lit. What?
I'd be so privileged to have you guys come down to the Cintas Center and have us beat UConn.
Yes! Let's go! Yes! Let's go! Yes! Here. Oh, number 5 is wet. And it is done! Free pizza for the Shermans!
Playing that, I can't imagine. I mean, the biggest game I've ever played in is like a district final game. I thought I was like cloud nine, you know?
Same thing.
We're getting a fat W! Oh my gosh! Yeah! Let me go back to his brother! Oh my god! What a catch! Oh my god! What a catch! Touchdown play! Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Bread around here is subpar. That's why there's not a good cheesesteak around here.
I respect you a lot more for saying
Oh my
Yeah!
god.
Tony Slide's complete. Hello and welcome into the Ride the Wave show. I'm your host today, Clay Archer. We are in a brand new Surf Shack today. Got my right-hand man, Adam B-Dubs, here with me. Got Tony Tone over here as well. MVD behind the camera. And let's get back. We got a jam-packed show today. We got Garett, Blair coming on here in about T-minus 27 minutes to talk about the Southeastern Panthers. We got Bodhi, Wolford coming on to talk about Jackson this year. Let's get back to what we were just talking about before the cameras came on because I found it. So we were just talking about there's an ex-Blue Jays catcher named Danny Jansen has chance at making MLB history because he used to play for the Blue Jays, got traded from the Blue Jays to the Red Sox. But when he played for the Blue Jays, they were playing the Red Sox. A game got delayed to be played later in the season. He was the batter up whenever the game got delayed. Now he plays for the Red Sox and is a catcher. So technically when this game starts, they're saying he'll be the first player ever to be playing for two teams at once. And we had some crazy ideas that he could be. So first off, we don't know. I'm trying to look it up. If it was in the 9th inning and the game was tied, he could just say fuck you to the Blue Jays and just swing.
Oh, especially if there's like playoff implications or
Yeah.
anything like that on the line.
Both AL.
It happened on July 27th when he got traded. I can't find anything. June 26th is whenever the game got suspended due to rain. And it will be made up on August 26th.
And he was traded when?
July 27th. He was just traded a couple days ago. It's the MLB trade deadline, so a lot of trades happening right now. He could be the first player in MLB history to appear in a game for both teams. So I think what they're saying is since it's technically the same game, and he played for the Blue Jays at first, now playing for the Red Sox, that's where the history's made.
You step up to the plate and you're like, I don't want this. Like, I want to win this for the Red Sox. So it's like, do you just look at the guys and just sit there and?
Yeah, I like what you said before when you're like, he'd go up to the plate and talk shit to the catcher. You're only here
Glad to
because
see
I'm
you getting extra innings, man.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not around.
That's what. But yeah, we were talking about that before the cameras came
That's
on.
what I was saying is like that would be the Red Sox catcher that's there. Like it'd be his current team, so he wouldn't be able to talk. He'd be like, "Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome for the PT, buddy."
Yeah,
Well, they traded for. Oh, so he's taking his job.
Yeah.
He's like, go ahead and fill in for me. I'll be
Right
I'll
now,
be there
Keep
in a
my
second.
pads warm,
yeah,
boy.
Keep my pads warm.
It's like I gotta get this out for us real quick on the other team, and I'm coming back taking
Do me
over
a
my
favor
third.
and don't let the pitch through because I'm not
What's
swinging.
crazy if it's like, I don't think it's gonna be this, but it's like, oh, hitting titles on the line.
Yeah.
Like something
What
important
if he
for
pops
him.
up
like,
and caught his own ball? Like if you caught like as a batter.
Oh, like you knew it was
and
gonna
then
be
like handed it to somebody. It was just like, there's so many possibilities with like.
my whole
yeah, he's gonna be
He's
batting
gonna
with
be
a glove on out there like a catcher's mitt.
my thing was that he could be like, well, fuck the Blue Jays for trading me, so I'm gonna make sure you're getting out here. Like I don't know. I wonder if there were 2 outs.
Or it could be like, I'm going to show you guys what you're missing. Let me smack one home run for you, and that's going to be the only thing you scored. in
That would be funny. It would also suck, though, if you had to go back to the Red Sox dugout. You lost as the Red Sox because he went and hit a homer.
Red Sox manager comes up to you. Look, man, don't swing while you're out there. Give it 20%. Just swing through it. And you're sitting there in your head like, I'm going to be the first person to get a hit for both teams in my game.
Well, imagine that he goes and hits that he's literally next up and is like, boom, home run again. But I don't think he would be able to play in that game as a Red Sox, though.
I don't know, but how crazy would it
either.
be
Probably
if he
not.
was the first at bat for the Blue Jays, right? He had to come up, finish it, hit a home run, left, went back on the Red Sox. He was the first at bat for them, came up and hit a home run.
Is there any rule like against like a how do I want to say this? Like if there's a rain delay, right, and they reschedule a game, if there's a trade, like say somebody like huge comes to that team, is he actually on the roster for that makeup
See,
game?
that's what I don't know, because technically they say when I was trying to, I'll say read, but it was really watching TikTok. They said that it's going off of the roster that was before, and if a player got traded, there'd be a sub in something there or something
Now,
like
do
that.
they just replay the whole game, or are they going based off of
They
where
go.
were?
They start where the game left off.
I couldn't remember. I know that.
I
that's
imagine
how
they probably
delays
say
were.
every
I just didn't
person
know if
on
it
the
was-
roster,
What
still
are
on
they-
the roster, has
So
to
that means
play
he
in
would have to
that.
just play the whole game for the Jays.
Yeah, well, it would be a doubleheader that day for them making it
so he
up.
would just have to
so
play
he'd play
2
for the
games.
Jays and then come over and play for the Red Sox the next game.
Or would he just play with, like, if they have to go based off, if they're making up the doubleheader, the second game as well, they might just be like, well, you were on the roster for the Blue Jays. You have to play 2. And at that point, if I'm the Blue Jays, I'm just subbing his ass out.
Yeah.
Oh, technically, if they're make-up games, if you have to make up mid-game, he probably is on the roster for technically the second one.
So, yeah, I haven't watched a baseball game on TV yet this year, but this is going
I'm
to be
like
probably
weirdly
the first
excited about
one. Yes,
this.
so
Like, I
we
really
are all rooting for, hold on, let me find his name one more time. We're all rooting for Danny Jansen to make that MLB history.
2 hits.
You do 2 hits. I want to see the home run and then switch to the other team and hit a home run same inning. All right, let's get on to some more sports. I want to talk about the Olympics for a couple of things, guys. Number 1, South Sudan. Have you guys been keeping up with them?
Active shooters.
Yeah. Yes. I did not know what you meant there for a second. Don't have a indoor gymnasium in their entire country.
Luau Dang put these guys on.
Yeah,
Right?
literally
for the
been
past 4 years, he
paying
has
out of pocket.
every plane tickets, gym
And they
time,
just-
everything.
They
Can't
are
afford a
technically
gym,
the
though.
youngest country, like the
He's
youngest
still
country
getting
that's been
paid by the
formed.
Lakers. That's what's nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, he could definitely afford to
Remember
just
when
put
him
up
and Timothy
put
Mozgov
up a
were
big
just getting-
pole barn out there for your boys to practice it.
That's
I mean,
what I'm saying.
shit.
You're dumping all this money into it. Like what? At some
There's a
point,
church in Vinton County right now that's got a 3/4 court basketball with 2
at
rims
some
on
point,
it,
he
you know?
looked at him and was like, "Listen, guys, now
I like the pole barn.
it's gonna be our shtick. Like our stick's gonna
It's
be
in a
the-
pole barn. There's is in a pole barn. It's
Yeah.
got tile floor. Like maybe you don't even have to go all out. But I mean,
Some
hell.
sport court.
But yeah, so they youngest country. They won their first ever Olympic game. Not like first ever Olympic game, like first Olympic game they ever played in, and they also won it. So that was pretty cool. Keep it up with that. It's just
Game,
it just makes you
singular
realize
game. They
how
won
bad.
One game. They didn't win all of the games.
Yeah, that
just
was-
one single game.
Yeah, that was the first game. Well, they almost beat the United States in the exhibition game.
Almost beat us to something else too. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't them.
And then
LeBron had heroics. LeBron's having a nice little comeback.
he
KD
is. KD literally didn't miss a shot in that first quarter.
thought about you guys with that, and I was like, this just proves he's not a superstar like he was, but he's still relevant.
Oh yeah,
It's
he
like
can still score
it's
the
like,
ball.
can you compare him to anybody else in the world? He's still.
I just imagine those other countries. They're just like, who we got in the draw? Well, I'm gonna be working back in the factory
Yeah.
again.
I thought it was funny
I
that
was really
Jason
hoping
Tatum.
we'd get a good run this year. And
Jason Tatum didn't even sniff the floor. Like, have you seen those memes?
I really think that's some Phil Jackson mind
I
games.
saw a
Yeah.
video of a dude that was sitting on a plane and he had like some shirt that he was wanting people to notice. He was sitting there smiling. It was like Jason Tatum waiting on everybody to walk in and say "What's up, champ?" to him as they get on the plane and just nobody says anything to him.
Well, it's like you sit there, you don't take his teammate after winning a finals, which is kind of crazy. You figure
Yeah.
if they win a finals, you'll take the 2 best players on it, but then you even slap him in the face more.
and go get Derek White.
Oh,
Jesus
no.
Christ.
So I saw something today. This has nothing to do with them, but it's just about Klay Thompson. People were talking about how Steve Kerr is just like an ass coach. He's just like there's so many
Dennis
things. that
Rodman put him on blast.
Yeah, he's just doing the exact same plays over and over again. So it's like Klay might not be washed up an ass. It's just everybody knows when he's going to shoot. Everybody knows exactly what play they're running to get him the ball. Like if you can't get James Wiseman, if you can't get Wiseman on oops and just like dump offs to the basket, you're doing something wrong as a coach.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's why Mark Jackson was better and should have stayed.
Mark Jackson paved the way for Steve Kerr to be a
what he is
championship
today.
coach. There was another guy that like came out in a press conference and was like, I don't like the role that these guys have me in. And it took him doing that for the organization to be like, hey, let's change the role that he's in. And then he started flourishing in the new role that he was in.
I wonder if that was Jordan Poole.
No, it wasn't Jordan Poole.
It wasn't.
He's still a bum.
Yeah, I say he's doing like, he got a big head from like the one or two.
The one season they had with Steph Curry.
Yeah,
What's like anybody that was on that team just knows how to shoot. Jonathan Kuminga. It's just like they just produce these dudes like no.
He was a great player in college for sure. It's just in the league, it's like you have a season like that and you get a little too big on yourself, and then you're just
get a big old contract.
Yeah.
Olympic sport number 2 I want to talk about was ping pong.
And we play South Sudan again. By
Real
the
quick,
way.
Yeah, we do.
With ping pong. If 5 Asian women approached me like they approached Anthony Edwards and talk about 5-on-1 ping pong, basketball team wouldn't have seen me the rest of the time I was there.
Well, my thing was, you guys ever watch whenever they're serving, it literally looks like they're headbutting it. Like, they're throwing it up, and they have the paddle so close to their face, but it looks like they're like, wham! It's like headbutt.
Is it to, like, hide what they're doing?
I don't know.
Because like, I know they get their shoulder up, and I was, like, looking at it. I was like, they don't want them to see it before they hit it, or, like, what's going on?
I watched this
didn't
one
get
chick
it
literally threw it, I felt like 30 feet up in the air. It was up there for, like, 5 seconds. Comes down, and she's like, like, it almost looked like she was hitting with her chest, but it had to have been the ping pong paddle.
Yeah.
So I really don't. All I think about whenever I'm watching that is the movie Balls of Fury. You guys ever watch that movie?
No, I have not.
Oh my God, it's a fucking classic.
Do you know? Do you think that Anthony Edwards would have been able to score a point? Like the whole thing was,
I wouldn't have been playing ping pong.
They said that the national team would smoke him 21-0. He's like, no way! Like I get. Steph Curry said that that's what they said in like a foreign language, and he was like, no, even though they didn't at all.
I would like to watch. It's almost like whenever you ever see the post where it's like the Olympics should always for every event have one normal person in it for like equivalent. I feel like though he's not a normal person, Anthony Edwards, you could put him against
the
the national.
bios
You know what
would be
make
epic.
It, you know what would make it more exciting is if it was for every single country. It was random. So like at some point, like you just get a knock on your door, you answer, and you're like, "Hey, what's up?" They're like, "You've been chosen. You gotta come with us. You gotta go into the Olympics."
100-meter swim.
Yeah, I feel like, you got lifeguards because
like,
I will
And
die.
like it's all right. The South Sudan guy's 450.
It's just like random people. It's like.
But the bios for the average Joes, this is Johnny. He's won a 2-time paddleball champion. It's like it had to be somebody like semi-okay, not like random.
Well, at
people.
least
Now,
know what they're
starting point
doing.
guard for USA national team is a truck driver. His name's Paul.
Yeah.
He's got a wife and 2 kids.
Hasn't
He's
played
struggling to put
basketball
him through
since
college.
his senior year of high school.
No, never played basketball. Never played a single sport in his life. He was a learned doctor. Lost it all. Now he's just a truck driver. Just to give him a wild backstory.
I would root so hard for that guy.
I know.
I would be.
I'd have his jersey.
I wonder how
Even
many
if there's
bets
no
would be-
jersey, I'm making one.
I wonder how
Whatever
many
they-
bets would be placed on the average Joe to just do something, right? Like, because there'd be at least that one. Like maybe like basketball, like if they pick the right guy, that would just go out and just bomb threes from nowhere. Like
It's like, well, that's the thing. We got to keep it as much integrity about it as possible. And the Olympics can do that. So it's just like no practice. You get 2 weeks. You find out 2 weeks before the games start.
It'd be kind of cool to see like which countries are slow,
And
which
you have-
countries
if
are
it-
strong, like average kind of. Like
Yeah.
maybe you get 5 or 6 people each one, so you're just like,
I want to
like
find out
Brazil.
who's the best random person that like is like I've never thrown a javelin in my life, but I'm launching that thing like 300 feet.
You get some like crackheads from Florida in there that
It's like
just wearing
He's like,
gator
this guy's
boots.
gonna run the 300
it's
meter
like,
dash.
damn, that was the best javelin thrower we've ever seen in the history
You
of
know
the
you're
Olympics.
supposed to pass the baton on a 400 meters. Like, I just smoked a couple crack on
It's like, listen,
I ran
man,
the whole thing, no
just
problem.
Let me take a hit of crack. We don't need me to pass
It'd be
it to
one of those
anybody.
things. The second you see from Florida, you'd be like, "We got this."
Yeah, this is all us. This is all us.
How many TT have?
Last one. This is probably going to insult people. Karate. This was my take on karate. It is the speed walking of wrestling. Yeah. Like,
It's not. It's point karate. It's not like combat karate.
yeah, 'cause
So
it's like-
it's like point
basically
karate
they're
is
just
very,
holding
like,
each other the entire time. Like,
Yeah.
it's like slow motion movements, but like still like
Point karate
striking
is
people.
more like style points and stuff like that. So I can't remember. There was a comedian that was telling a story about how like he signed up for a tournament like that, and like he was actual regular like he thought he was signing up for like a karate tournament or like an actual MMA death tournament. I'm pretty sure like It could have been Anthony Jeselnik. First thing, he just goes out there, and it's supposed to be like, like style points. You're not actually just Dexter in the face of him. You're like, oh, what's going on, dude? You can't do that. He's like, it's a UFC style death tournament.
you
I'm
just
fighting.
imagine-
Like, what do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, the guy like starts grabbing you. You're like, what's he doing?
Yeah, no, like it was just like
You
they
just
bowed.
fall
He was just
off
like,
on him.
Dude, what would be funny if it was like a
Why are you grabbing me
roundhouse,
so?
roundhouse kick to the jaw, just drops the dude. But yeah,
Have you seen? It's called like. It's got Danny McBride in it. He's like he's a judo instructor. He's got this lady in like her 40s, and this guy who's like 26. He's like real fit, and he's like teaching him like how to like. It's a kickboxing movie, but he's teaching him like how to kickbox. He's like, yeah. So this move, is how you would block anything. And the younger dude was like, nah, that wouldn't have worked. That wouldn't have blocked. My punch. I'd have been able to get around it. He was like, okay, then let's go, full go. Just use what I taught you, Susan, and you'll be able to block it. And he just one punches her, but like he doesn't, like he holds her and just starts like feeding it to her. And then like as she's knocked out, Danny McBride looks at somebody else and goes, she's still breathing.
she's still breathing. But yeah, that was my take on karate. That it was basically just speed walking wrestling. All right, that's our opening to the show. Let's get on to our next segment, one of our favorites over here.
Oh, this is legit.
Two truths and a lie. So I figured I'd send it to you guys so when I read it, you can actually see it as well. We will start with round one. Object of the game. Two of the statements I'm going to say is a truth. One is a lie that I've made up myself. Adam and Tony have to pick.
Real quick, that movie is called The Foot First Way. Highly recommend it. It's hilarious. From 2006.
Oh, the one you're just talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into it. Round one. In 1991, a man sued Anheuser-Busch for showing that hot girls are attracted to guys who drink their beer. Basically saying the commercials were false advertising that would happen. In 1999, a Florida man sued the Miami Dolphins football team for $10 million for not winning the Super Bowl that year. And in 2007, a judge sued his local dry cleaners for $67 million for losing his favorite pair of pants. Which do you guys think is the lie?
1999, Florida man sued Miami Dolphins.
Okay. Tony, what about you?
I think you're right. I think you're right. But give me the 91 Anheuser-Busch.
So,
Real man, a genius.
So Adam got that one right. It was the Miami Dolphins. So I did think of this ahead of time today to actually look these things up.
The 91 one, I'm pretty sure I do remember hearing something about
Yes.
that.
So he, what was his name? Sorry, let me look him up real quick. I had him right here.
That was my favorite part about going to school in the morning, was hearing the like, thank you, Mr. Delivery Driver, who decided to leave an extra case of beer out by your truck for you while you were pumping gas because you were wearing the same sports team shirt. We salute you. Real man, a genius.
No, but the man did sue them in 1991 because he said that their commercials made it look like if you got their beer that you got hot bitches pretty much, and then said that I want $10,000 up front and $250 each time you run that ad. So
Did he win?
No, he did not win. Then this one was let me see. Here we go. Judge Pearson took his pants down to Chung's dry cleaners, and I guess they messed him up like for the first time ever. And he said it was his favorite pair of pants. And he demanded to be compensated by Chung's for $1,000, and they pretty much told him no. So they said, all right, and he took him to a lawsuit for $67 million in damages, though later reduced the amount to $54 million. Still won.
That's nice of him.
Because
Don't
he's a
trust
judge.
the government. That's why I didn't think. That's why I thought that one was true. So
That was it was just like he's a judge, so he threw the book at him.
Yeah, but it's like, damn, $67 million for your pants.
Holy, like long-winded answers for the second one, Batman.
Yeah, sorry. Round two. These ones are going to be long, but I can explain quicker if you need me to. In 1802, one of the last battles of the French Revolutionary War took place in Paris, France, where André Massena and Etienne MacDonald, two army generals, decided to decide the winner of the battle in a drink-off because they were tired of watching bloodshed of their troops. Number two, in 1932, Australian farmers went to war with the emus in their country, bringing in the Australian military with machine guns to combat the emus, but were unsuccessful. And in 1788, during the Austro-Turkish War, a battle took place between Austrian and Hungarian troops near the town of Karansebes, where soldiers started a drunk brawl but ended up fighting their own troops out of confusion.
Karansebes?
Basically,
the emu thing, I thought that was a different animal. Like, I thought they did something like this, but it wasn't.
I
wasn't
want
emus,
to say the
like,
lie is the 1802 one because I'm just really hoping that it is, and I'm pretty sure I thought it was.
I'll take the
emus.
1788 one then.
1788. Yeah, so let me explain for you guys real quick so they can understand a little bit more. You guys think about it. The 1788 one, pretty much two armies came at each other, got drunk as shit, and fought each other, pretty much friendly fire because they're so drunk they didn't know what was going on. The 1932 Australian farmers pretty much went to war with emus. That one's self-explanatory. And then the 1802 one, two generals during the French Revolutionary War didn't want their troops to keep dying, so they had a drinking contest with each other. Which do you guys choose?
I'll take the 1788 one.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the 1802. I think that one's.
All right, Adam is 2-0 with the lie.
Yeah,
That
like I
was
said,
the
I was
lie.
really just hoping the emus was true.
So the emus is true. So I have that one right here.
I love that.
Where'd it go? Damn it.
They were
yeah.
unsuccessful. They're like
So
still there.
the emus, here's the crazy thing about this. The emus won the war, technically. Because after
that
6
takes
days.
Australia.
So let me get this straight. The farmers were at war with emus for 6 days. And after 3 days, they were able to win. So they called in the Australian military, who came in with machine guns, went crazy on the emus, and the emus dodged them. Just dodged them.
And they're just wasting bullets.
None of the emus died. Like that's what it's saying. So that's how they lost. And apparently it's because the emus kept eating the farmers' crops and shit like that. So that's why they waged war on the emus. So, all right, round 3. Adam, you have the chance to be the first 3-0 guy for the two truths and a lie. Here we go. Dogs use the Earth's magnetic field to position themselves when they take a poop, often trying to point north and south. Jaguars will often urinate or poop on their prey after eating them to mark their kill to other predators. And lemurs use their tree toilets to communicate with family members, even if they live in the same territory. Fellas? What is your
Yeah,
pick?
give me the dog's Earth's magnetic.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that. I think the dog's magnetic.
All right, I win this one again. The Jaguars one is the lie. So I have the dog one right here. Where it goes? Yep. So dogs use the magnetic field with significant force when the pooches
And how
lined
do we
up
know
to
that?
go.
Did they tell us? Did they say, hey,
a
we do this
study
on
done
purpose?
in 2014. I had to make sure I worded it just right
Yeah,
to make it not a lie.
See, that's my thing is I feel like that study, it might have been done, but I don't believe it because, like, there's a spray you can spray because they're smelling for a certain chemical that they like to just use the restroom on.
So wait, how do they know?
So what
Does
they
it say-
said is that whenever they did the study, the dogs, whenever they do like the circle thing, they're trying. I guess at the same time as whenever they realized that the Earth's magnetic force was pulling in the same direction that they. So like it was
They
off
would have
their
brought them to
spine.
like 16 different yards and poop then because
So,
this is ridiculous.
I guess-
because I also say this, I heard that dogs face you when they poop when they
So
trust
that- so
you,
that way they
so
don't-
you know
yeah.
if something's coming towards them.
I'm not saying you win this one and you're right, but I'm just saying put an asterisk on this one.
Yeah, so they said that it was with the spine that they lined up. They try to go north and south, but the fact that it's not always north and south with magnetic force made them realize that that's what they follow instead of following the direction of a compass.
Yeah.
Was what the study said.
Yeah. I studied for. But
All right,
I'm
tell me
not,
about
I'm
the
not down
lemur
you,
tree
Clay. I'm
toilets.
down.
Oh
to
yeah,
people
so the
that do
lemur
this.
tree toilets basically they use that to communicate with other lemurs and their families, just through their toilets. So like they make toilets in trees, I guess, and like the way that they go through.
All right, if I'm
right here.
dumping on this tree
Whenever
over
they
here,
whenever they sensed an unwelcome male intruder, lemurs would visit their latrines much more often, using specialized glands to mark the tree with their scent, aka their shit. They would shit on the tree to let them know, hey, this is me, not the male trying to kill our entire pack of whatever. Or I guess, are lemurs packs? Do they come in packs? Is that
I think it's something different.
Well,
with the
King
monkey.
Julian's a lemur. He's got a bunch of friends.
But it's
true.
it wouldn't be called a pack. It would be called something else, like
like
there's
a team.
There's like a pod of
A fever.
pods like dolphins and shit
Whales.
like that. Whales, yeah.
Fever is stingrays. What's
Fever.
a crow? A huddle of crows. What's that?
A
A huddle of
A
crows?
murder.
Yeah.
A
murder,
Oh,
dog.
that's. I have heard
I
about
got a
that.
question for you real quick, too.
What?
When you see this medal count stuff, would you rather have a little less medals but more gold, or would you rather have a better total medal count? Because, like,
More gold.
yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
'Cause that
Like,
means I'm the
don't get me
best.
wrong, I want to win both.
Yeah.
But it's like everybody's like, oh, we're the highest in the medal count, but there's like a country that has like 5 more golds than us, and I'm like, but then I also think about the Olympics. You could have one dude win like 6 golds, and you're like, well, that's not really spread around. I guess.
Yeah. I'd rather go with the golds because that means that you've won more. Speaking of gold medals, if there's a gold medals, a bronze medals, and silver medals for receptions in the year, Gage Cheadle would have won the gold medals last year with 61 catches by himself, leading the league. I'd like to talk about that a little bit. We can talk about it amongst ourselves, or we can bring on the coach from Southeastern, the one, the only, Garett Blair. How's it going, Coach?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing good. Hey, so we wanted to start off the conversation like we just talked about. You guys have been seeming to try to put it together. You obviously, you know, you'd like to see a little bit more wins in the win column, but we have been noticing over here, Joey Pfeiffer, Cutright, Cheadle. I mean, you guys have 3 amazing offensive players to really build your team around. Can you talk about them a little bit and what we can expect to see out of the Southeastern Panthers this year?
Yeah, the 3 kids you mentioned, those are 3 great kids. And for us to be successful, they have to have really good years again. And for us to win more games, which is ultimately the goal, is to win games. They have to have good years, and I think they know that. I think Joey takes that seriously. He takes it seriously. He has to be the team leader. He's a quarterback. The team will go how he goes. And you get a kid like Gage Cheadle who's special, man. He's good. And him and Joey's connection is just something that, as a coach, you want to take credit for when players do certain things and you want them to do exactly what you tell them. But, there are times where those two have a feel for the game, similar to, how maybe 2 basketball players have a player for a feel for the game and where openings are going to happen and things. So you give them a little bit more freedom. And Caleb's a kid, Caleb Cutright, who's fast. I mean, he'll be a 4-year starter for us at running back. We need him to have a good year, be able to run the ball. But it's
Coach,
a real team effort.
You do say team effort because, again, you had Cutright top 6 at 845 yards. You had Cheadle, finishing in the top with receptions and in receiving yards. And then, like you said, Pfeiffer and him just being on that same connection. It's got to be nice because we talk about, our team's more of a run-balance team or are they more of a passing team. But it seems like you guys have been able to go back and forth on being a well-balanced team. It's more of, if this week we need to hit the run, we'll hit the run a little bit more often. If we need to hit the pass, we can hit the pass. And we've talked about these 3 kids, but I do think Step is another guy. We saw him in our 3-on-3 tournament, real athletic kid. Can you talk about some of the guys that maybe are being overlooked for you guys out there at Southeastern?
Yeah, I think like anything, it starts up front when you talk about football, because the most physical team is going to be the one to win, especially in high school football. So we got a kid, a senior, Jacob Sheets. He's kind of the heartbeat of the team when you talk about a worker and a kid who he'll be another 4-year starter, and we got several of those this year that'll be 4-year starters. And man, he's a worker, and we need him to be able to put everybody on his back and say, hey, this is the way we're going. And I expect him to do that. And then another kid up front for us, Landon Brown, who this will be his 2nd year starting as center for us. He kind of got banged up halfway through the year last year, and his season ended short. But we expect him to have a good season again. And, some younger guys up front that we need to see step up, kids like Weston Flowers, who will be a junior, and and Seth Smith, like they're going to have to step up and have good years. And then you talk about some more skill guys that I think got a lot of potential. A kid who will be a sophomore for us that'll play wide receiver. Braden Burns, I expect him to have a good year. And Seth Walker will be a junior, and he plays. We kind of call him the utility man on both sides of the ball when it comes to skills position. He can play, really anywhere, whether it be running back, he's our backup quarterback, he's a starting receiver, and on defense he plays nickel and inside linebacker. He can play safety and corner. And, those are kids that we expect to have – they need to have good years because, like you said, we know that the three kids we mentioned at the beginning are going to go out and play well.
Yeah.
Like, we went 1-9 last year, and they had great years individually. But for us to have a good season, a good year, everybody's going to have to step up. I mean, that's what it's going to take.
And I feel like, a way that you have gone about making the team come together, because I feel like for a team to come together, they have to do things together. They have to be in the locker room. They have to spend time off the field, hanging out. And one thing that I loved whenever I was doing some research, having you come up, is that you guys had a community day. And I kind of wanted you to talk about that a little more, because from what I saw, it looked like, you guys, you and the team are going out, cutting people's grass, helping them with a bunch of stuff around the community. Can you talk a little bit more on what your guys' community day was like and how that helps your team and for your community?
Yeah, so Community Day this year, it was July 2nd, and we went to Richmond-Dale, once is one of the little towns in our school district, and we worked with a nonprofit organization, and they kind of provided some stuff for the teams when it came to water and gloves and trash bags, and we put it out on the internet a couple weeks ahead of time that the team was going to be out. We had a dumpster that was going to be in the middle of town. If you had any large items, we'd pick them up, we'd take them out there. If anybody knew of anybody maybe that was elderly or physically unable to mow their grass, to let us know. We would have mowers going around, and we took 3 hours and just did that in the village of Richmond-Dale. And it was an awesome thing, man. To try to get a sense of the kids to take some responsibility for our community that we represent. I thought it was great.
How the kids take? I feel like, because if I was in high school, I feel like there's going to be two tiers. There's going to be the kids that maybe have done it before, maybe done that kind of teamwork, and then you got the other kids showing up like, damn, what have I gotten myself into?
Lift what couch?
Yeah, we're lifting couches over here.
Yeah, and that is kind of, because I think back, when I played high school baseball, we did something similar. And, you put yourself in the kids' shoes. It's like, what can we do where the kids, they need to do something. They need to give back to the community. But also, it's like, you don't want them to absolutely hate this.
Yeah.
So I thought the kids handled it well. Actually, I don't know if we had a single kid complain about anything we made them do.
Well, hey, that's always a good thing.
Well.
That means that you're having some good kids out there. Now, I know Tony and Adam, I have a question for you before I throw it off there. I'm not going to let that mustache. I was going to bring it up. He's absolutely on my Ted Lasso fireness. I had a bad incident today with my razor, so I have no beard. But that mustache is fire.
I was also going to add, say beautiful mustache. And you sound like Owen Wilson. Has anybody ever said that?
Yes, I get my students all the
I'm over here
all the
Googling
time,
Lightning McQueen. My son's 3, so we watch a lot of Lightning McQueen. And I was like, he sounds exactly like Lightning McQueen, and it was Owen Wilson. But I'm glad somebody else said it. But
so, what are the pointers and the tips to keep the mustache as fine as your mustache is looking today?
Man, just don't shave it for a while.
Genetics.
Yeah, he's like, just be good at growing a damn mustache.
It's like, honestly, when you become a coach, I think it changes. Like, your own genetics change. That mustache just comes in heavy.
Now, how long have you been growing your mustache?
Since June, I think.
Oh, damn! That's a quick turnaround for a good-looking mustache. Season. All right, Tony, I know you had a question for Coach.
So I was just watching some previous interviews, and you talked about, it was pretty early on in your career over there, maybe right after the first year, and you said you had a lot of good things to look forward to. A lot of people still showing out to the little leagues and different things like that. Are you seeing that kind of come to fruition, and are you still seeing some good things happen down at the younger ages?
Oh, yeah. I think the way our youth program is set up, and a lot of credit to that goes Coach Gallagher, who was there right before me, is, the best way that it could possibly be for a small community like us to keep numbers up, because our enrollment's going down, and our Southern Ohio's population as a whole is not really going up. So we got to do something to keep kids in the game. So the way we've done it has been great. You can start when you're 4 years old and play flag football all the way to the 4th grade. And then when you're in the 4th grade, it becomes tackle football in the 5th grade. So it's not really just such a huge change when they get into junior high playing tackle football for the first time. I mean, I really think we get the best of both worlds there.
Oh, yeah.
And our numbers, participation-wise, have been great. In the flag parts, we've had, I think, almost every year I've been here, we've had pretty close to 100 total participants throughout the flag program each year. In our Pee Wee teams, that 5th and 6th grade team, you can see either a sustaining amount of kids in the mid-20s to 30s, and we've been in the mid-30s a few years between 2 grades. Those are great numbers.
Yeah.
And we've had 2 years in a row, really almost 4 years in a row, where our junior high numbers have been great. Mid-30s. So you see that in high school when you get some bigger grades in, where really the goal in my mind at a school our size, when I think about it, you want to start with close to 15 freshmen and try to keep 10 other kids per grade in there. And so you're roughly around 40 kids every year at a school our size. I think that's great.
Yeah.
And we've been able to stay close to that. Maybe not exactly that, but, with the not success in the win column, to see our community kind of stand behind us, the kids keep coming out. I mean, I think that says a lot about our school district. I think that says a lot about kids and their parents, and how committed they are. And I mean, I think everybody has kind of seen it, that we're getting there.
I love it.
Yeah. I had a question.
Yeah,
Real quick.
Adam?
So, how big is Southeastern? Like, how many kids you got in your senior class this year? Do you know how many kids graduated out of it?
Don't hold me to it. I want to say like 70-ish.
Okay. I
We have
thought it was relatively
113. We have 113 total boys in high school. I know that.
Oh, nice.
Now, so Southeastern, you guys have like a rather big demographic for your guys' school pool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like being a guy from Vinton County. We only have one school in our county. It's just a big demographic county. It's hard to get people in, like to actually like the after school activities, practices, and stuff like that. Because it's just such a big distance. Like it's so hard. Like the school's so far away from some of these kids.
Carpooling and stuff. It's tough.
How's some ways that you combat something like that, like just the logistical errors, I guess, of kids possibly not coming out?
Yeah. You really got to think about a lot of it, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on to it that maybe no one else, if you don't do it, you don't think about when it comes to the times that you make things. As many times that you can have something in one day, because you also have to weigh that against, I want to make it this time because it's easiest for kids to be here, but, not all my coaches are teachers. So I also need to make things at times where, they have, as I always say, and the kids laugh, like they have real jobs. Like I'm just a teacher. I have the whole summer off. Like I need to make things. These guys work year round. So, it's playing those two things against each other, but it's also, making sure the kids, I mean, it's as silly as, we have popsicles all the time for the kids to make them come out. Like they're always in the freezer. Different
I would be
foods.
there strictly for the popsicles.
Don't think that wouldn't get me.
Yeah, that would get me.
Yeah,
for
like we've done food, T-shirts. We used to do, if you came to so many, if you come to 12 workouts, you get this T-shirt. 20 workouts, you get this T-shirt. 30, and it's just doing stuff like that. It's making sure you have a really good group of older guys that understand, older players that understand that, other people might need help getting there, and that they're holding each other accountable, and that they're, if you live close, man, you might ask, and it's coaches picking kids up and taking them home, and it's a real community effort. It's other parents picking kids up. It's just trying to create that community environment where we're all helping each other because we're all on the same team.
That's
Hell yeah.
You love to hear that from a school too, because like everybody thinks that the football team is successful because the football team put in the work, but it really is like a community in places like this that have to come together for it to work. And I know you, like you said, you're from Southeastern. Now you're back being the coach. So I kind of want to ask you, like, whenever you're thinking of like, hey, what does it mean to be like a Southeastern Panther? Like, what are the kind of core values that you're putting into your program to try and get into your kids of like what it means to be a Panther?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's something, that we used to say this all the time when I was a kid, and this is what I think of the first time I think about it. And it's Panther born and Panther bred, and when I die, I'll be Panther dead. And
that is one of the best sayings I've ever heard. That is awesome.
And so, I mean, it is just being, you can look at the corner of my office in here. I got a flag that says Richmondale, Ohio. It's like, man, it's just that. It's like we wear blue and white. We're blue collar people. We're punching the time clock. We understand the work that comes to things. Things aren't free. There is no free lunch in life. You're going to have to work for it. And, sometimes you might work really, really, really freaking hard for something and you still don't get it. But guess what? Tomorrow you're going to wake up and punch the clock again. And you're going to go to work. And to me, that's what it means to be a Southeastern Panther. It is you understand, you're proud of where you come from, and you're going to go back to work tomorrow.
Well, I'm ready to run through a break. Well, I don't know about you guys. I think I'm ready to be a Southeastern Panther sometime.
If this roof wasn't so small, I would have jumped up out of my seat.
Yeah.
I knew I would have had to.
That would have been, with barring injury, that would have been kind of funny also to see you just absolutely go through. Coach, that was a coach speech right there.
It might be the best answer that we've heard, like in terms of what it means to be
what
that
you,
school.
yeah, that, holy shit, I was not ready for that. But
well, I hope it's the truth because, man, I love this place. I love Southeastern, man. I'm proud to be from Southeastern. I am biased. I don't think there's a better place in the world. I don't think there's a better school district. I don't think there's better school colors than blue and white, and I'm a cooler mascot than a Panther. So, I mean,
yeah, man. That's what you need as a coach, man. You need somebody that's in there ready to die for the program. I mean, it's awesome to watch, Coach. And honest to God, we are really excited to watch you guys this year. We're really excited to watch Cheadle, Cutright, and Pfeiffer for the fantasy. Well, would not be lying to you if we said that.
Caleb,
yeah. So we were going to do we have some very hard journalism questions that we have to get to before we let you get out of here. So these are the ones that people normally choke up on, so we understand if it takes you some time. We are going to start with start, bench, cut for you, okay? So you guys start one, bench one, cut one. The first one we're going to go with is Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. Start, bench, cut. Which one are you doing?
I mean, this becomes a tough one because I had an Xbox One for a long time. I'm not really a big game guy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cut Nintendo. I'm going to start there.
Okay.
I've never played a Nintendo.
Okay.
And so, but I'm a kid who graduated high school in 2014, and that was the last time NCAA football came out. And I was really sad to find out when I dusted off the Xbox One getting ready for it that, I had to get a new gaming system.
Yeah, I bet that broke your heart, man.
And so I bought a PlayStation 5 just for the game. And
there we go.
You
deserve it.
You had some time off too. Come on, you had the summer in front of you. It's an investment.
I'm gonna bench the Xbox.
Okay.
And start the PlayStation 5 just because of the NCAA football game.
Hell yeah. I honestly, we haven't done this one yet. I don't know where I'm heading for that one. All right, next one. We have pizza, wings, burgers. Start, bench, cut. What are you doing?
Like what kind of burger? Because that's gonna determine
the best one. Your favorite.
The best burger you could ever think of.
It's the best of each category.
Yep.
So it's the best taco.
Best burger, best wings, best pizza you've ever had.
Wings, not taco.
Yeah.
Hungry.
So I think I'm going to. I might be the only person maybe ever do this. Is a hot take. I'm gonna cut pizza.
Oh,
that is by far. I think it's been number one for every single person.
Yeah, a lot of people have been cutting.
I'm going to bench burgers, start wings.
All right. Now, I got to ask, what kind of wings are you starting?
I'm going Roosters traditional
Okay.
with Carolina Gold and
Nice
donkey
sauce
mixed
choice.
on the wing.
Okay.
The mix is like, if you know the servers, and like they always have something where it's like Parmesan garlic and Carolina Gold, different
Yeah.
things like that. When you get the mix going, it's nice.
Dude, that Carolina Gold
That
is
Carolina
to
Gold
die
turns
for.
to Adam Brown real quick.
I was not ready for that one out.
I'm just being honest with you guys.
You said it so monotone. It took me a second. Like, yeah, I understand, bro.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, we got one more for you. You're on a deserted island, all right? You can bring one food that you'll never run out of, one album or artist, whichever one you want to do, and one, like, survival tool. What are 3 things you're picking?
So it was food,
Yep.
album, survival tool.
Yes.
I'm gonna go food. Something I never get tired of. Probably like, oh man,
Say pizza.
Man, pizza's tricky because it gives me heartburn.
Yeah,
That's why
I
I
feel
cut
it.
Me and Adam have had to cut Donatos out of our lives for a while because it does not agree with us at all.
Food probably like something like like peanut butter. I love peanut butter.
Yeah.
So
And it's
probably
protein.
peanut butter, and it's gonna stay forever too.
Yeah.
Music. I mean, probably Bob Seger if I can just have Bob Seger playing all the time.
Unique. I like that.
Good mood.
Yeah. Now your survival tool. What are we picking here?
Probably just some kind of knife that can cut some stuff.
Yeah. I went with sword. That's what I would go. It's like a big knife. I don't know why. It's just like a katana or something.
Self-defense.
I would probably hurt myself.
You know,
though,
the
with
funniest
sword.
thing is, like, this goes back to, like, a conversation we had, like, 30 shows ago where it was, like, every guy genuinely thinks that they could use a sword.
Yeah. Like everybody's like, give me a sword. And I'm gonna mess some stuff up with it. And like, yeah, probably yourself. You're probably messing yourself up. All right, hey coach, who are you cheering for in the NFL?
Oh, I'm a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Now, how about that? Who was your first dynasty in college football?
Yeah,
25?
that's the real question.
OU Bobcats.
Hey,
That's a good one.
that's where my
a rebuild.
that's my road to glory player.
Are you alumni?
Yeah.
Me too.
No, I went to Shawnee State.
Oh, me too. I'm alumni from both. Let's go.
Go Bears.
Well, Coach, hey, thank you so much for coming on. We're definitely wanting to get out to another one of your guys' games this year, and we're expecting big things from you guys out there. So we wish you the best of luck for you guys in your season.
Hey, thank you guys very much for having me and giving me a chance to talk about Southeastern or players.
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest mustache you'll ever see, Garett Blair. Thanks for coming on, Coach. Seriously, that was an amazing mustache. Like, that was a lot better than what I got going on over here. So I was trying to just trim, like,
I didn't want to say anything, but when I
Yeah.
walked in, I was like, ew.
Yeah, I was just trying to trim down here, and I sneezed, and then it went like that, and I was like, I got to do the whole thing. I tried to save it a little bit to keep the stubble, but, man, I hope it grows back, and, like I just hope I wake up tomorrow and just full beard. Like, that's all. That's all I'm
Only if
hoping
you're
for.
him. He's like, when'd you start growing that? June.
Yeah. You mean
6
last
weeks? You got
month?
a stash like that?
All right, let's get on to our next segment. We're basically just calling it overlooked teams. So we're going to be talking about in this segment teams that we feel like might be overlooked going into this season. I'll go first if you guys don't care. I do think a team.
I think we care.
Oh, you care? Okay, sorry, you guys go.
Rock, paper, scissors. No.
Okay. So the team that I picked, it's kind of weird.
I'm starting to
depending-
care a little bit.
Yeah, now
What?
that he's talking. No.
What, damn it? No, but I think it's overlooked. I feel like I'm high on them, but nobody else is. I am going to go with Hillsborough. I feel like they're being a little bit overlooked with that running game that they have last year. They had a lot of close calls last year. You know, I don't think that I still don't think they beat Miami Trace. I don't think they beat Jackson, but I do feel like those could be the only 2 losses they have for the season. They have a really good coaching staff out here there. I just think that running game that they have is just going to be too dynamic for a lot of teams to stop. I did say that I thought they were going to go 7-3 on our last episode. I am going to upgrade that to 8-2 though. Now, the more that I've been looking at the roster, the more I've been looking at their schedule. I just think Hillsborough is going to be a team that not a lot of people are talking about right now, but they're going to be a team that a lot of people are talking about later. I think they might even be able to win a playoff game and go make a nice little playoff run. Hutchinson, I think, could be top 2 or 3 back in fantasy based off stats and everything like that.
He's a different type of back too than they had before, but it's speed, a little more dynamic.
I'm wondering too if with Dumper being another year older that they might throw like I don't think they're going to go a lot down the field. If they do, probably be Nick Burns. But I can see Hutchinson getting some catches out of the backfield this year, a little bit more than he did last year, which A, will help his fantasy a lot, and B, I think if you get him on a swing pass and just him and a cornerback, 10 times out of 10, I'm going to take him. I mean, even if he just runs over the cornerback, I think he can fall forward for 5 yards. So, yeah, I think Hillsborough is just a team that not a lot of people are high on, and I think that they will be wrong by the end of the season. Or we're come back and look at this clip and be like, damn, Clay is fucking retarded.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. That's why we're here. We're here to get the hot takes.
Yeah. So, Tony, who's your team that is flying under the radar?
So I kind of have
Is it also
two.
like a team that we've already talked about?
Yeah.
Oh, anything you want.
I mean, I've already talked about Hillsborough. Like,
Well,
quite a
no,
bit,
I just didn't know if you were talking like just in general a team that we didn't cover. Like,
no, just teams like because I've been I try to talk to people around town and see what teams they like. Just teams that maybe you haven't heard a lot of people talk about that you are high on that we've already like. Because like I said, when we talk about Hillsborough, I think you guys are a little bit lower on them in the season. I just think they're going to be a team to watch out for this year. So Tony, you can go next.
So I kind of have like a little bit of two, but you could just tell me if this is an overlooked one. But I want to talk about Zane Trace. I feel like we talk about a lot of movement in the league and different things like that. Like they might have a little bit of a step back, but I think they might have a step forward. Like I think they definitely have the opportunity to take the league. I have a lot of faith in Gunner. Silas Stewart back in the backfield. It's not Blake Phillips, but it's a different type of back. And I really feel like they could do something really special there. Obviously, having Aiden Dunn on the outside, you have so much to offer with that. So if they can make sure that they can replace Bowers on like the defensive side of the ball, because that dude was a menace. But it's not that I think that they're getting talked about to be the bottom of the league, but they're talked about maybe if Adina takes the next step, maybe they're 4th or 5th. Westfall, if they stay around them
to win the league, which you're saying they could win the league.
So I think that's what I would go with, because I don't see any glaring weaknesses, and I look at a lot of teams going through transition periods and trying to replace some seniors where, with Carter Langley getting hurt a little bit, they don't have to do that as much because he's already got to play.
Yeah.
So I guess, kind of overlooked. And then the other one that I think can put more than one win up this year is Huntington.
Yeah.
I know they have like a young quarterback, but I also just feel like they have a couple seniors that have been there a while, whether it's on the defensive side of the ball, defensive tackle, like guys like that. And those are the ones you kind of want to be your seniors if you have young guys, You got something good to look forward to. But there's something out there. And, again, being a transition period, I think you can catch a couple teams sleeping.
I think with Huntington, too, what the big thing for them this year that they don't get a lot of is continuity with the head coach.
Yep.
They got the head coach come back for, I think this is – I know it's his second year. I don't think it's his third. Yeah, I think it's his second year coming back, which a lot of times people are stopping at Huntington 1 year on to the next. So I think with Coach Beeler being out there for another year, looks like few years to come with him being out there as well, they could definitely turn some heads out there. Adam, a couple teams you had?
Well, my computer's just not working right now to pull up my list of stuff, but
I know one team you're high on.
yeah, one team I'm real high on. Starting off the season 1-0. Vinny County. Really, I was trying to look at a couple of teams in the TVC just to see if there was any teams that we might be sleeping on over there. But I feel like I know so far I can't open the page. Damn it! So I think weirdly enough, even though they're coming off of a gold ball, we're kind of low key sleeping on Unioto. I feel like a lot of people outside of the Unioto realm are like, if you're outsider looking in, which is kind of like me being a TVC guy. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on Unioto just because they feel like,
I think that they're being slept on, kind of like how Tony's saying that Zane Trace being slept on. Where like people definitely expect them to finish high in the league. No one's expecting them to win the league again. Yeah. Which, they lose a lot with Newt Hoots, but who's not to say that Dave? I mean, a lot of people have been banging the drum that David Long is going to be the next guy for him, and it's looking like Reinhardt's going to be pretty big in the backfield for him as well. So yeah, I would definitely say that's a team that people are sleeping on. I would say, you know, I was going to talk about Southeastern too because I don't know if you could say sleeping on as in like I don't think they're going to be finishing top in the league, you know. But you know, they have Souderville East.
I think that they are a sleeper to ruin somebody's team. I think somebody's season. I think they're going to get slept on. They're the most likely to get slept on by another team and have somebody pop off just because they got so many weapons.
I think the game for them, like you said, they could ruin somebody's season. They have Westfall and Piketon at home, and I think you know, Piketon they have them week 7. You know, 3 weeks before the end of the season. If everything's going good for Piketon at that point, and they could be kind of overlooking Southeastern, they're a team that I think you know. We've talked about Piketon's defense is going. It's just not going to be as good as it was last year. I mean, you lose somebody like Zane Brownfair that used a leader like that, it's probably going to take a step back.
Unless somebody steps up in a big way to fill some holes,
literally.
That was insane. That dude was definitely.
Yes. So for the kind of defense that they have, and you know, just talking with Coach Blair there, when you have weapons like Cutright and Cheadle, that's the kind of team I
think
feel
Paint
like
Valley gets lucky playing them week 3, first week of like SVC play because they don't risk we're high on ourselves. They might be high on themselves outside of conference play, but I feel like league plays usually everybody kind of shapes up.
I think it's literally like tale of two seasons. I feel like the first 3 games of the year for the SVC is like, all right, we're getting ourselves in shape. We can be 3-0, we can be 0-3. I mean, look at last year, 3-0. Piketon goes into the league, it just drops in the egg.
A lot of times it really depends. I was actually going to ask him because they start off with like Sciotoville East and then go to Madison Plains and then Eastern.
Eastern being the last game that they have going into the conference play.
Now, I will say this. Two of them
tough,
are
and then you play Paint Valley, whose division it is to kind of lose this year. And it's so by the time you get mid-season, like you're saying, you've already played a bunch of hard
of those first 3 games, one of them, I want to say the Madison Plains, they're a division below them. And then the first 2 are actually Division 6. They're the same region. They're both Region 24s.
It got switched. Last year they were a division below, but where it got switched this year with they didn't expand the division.
Well, I saw that 2 of them were like Division. They were Division 6, Region 24, and the other one was like Region 27.
Madison Plains is Division 6, Region 24, the same as Southeastern. And then Eastern and Sciotoville are Division 7, Region 27.
That's what it was. It was two below and 1 the same. That's that's what I meant.
I think that they could. I think they could have a chance to start off 2-0. I'm not very big on Sciotoville East after looking at their schedule last year. They weren't very good. And Southeastern did beat Madison Plains last year 27-6 pretty handily. And it's looking like that's about the same team as this year. I do think they lose to Eastern. That Eastern team could go back-to-back undefeated seasons. Then they got Paint Valley. I think that's going to be a loss. I do think they can beat Adena, though. Adena has a lot of question marks. They can still be trying to find themselves.
Dude, I'll be honest, dude. If I'm Drexler, I'm pissed. I'm so pissed off.
Yeah.
I would have left that school last year. I mean, how are you going to waste an entire year of my time with the wrong system?
Yeah, because he's not even the wrong system too. Because even when they run the ball, they weren't giving him the ball.
Yeah, he was in for 2 in the right plays situation. And be out for a couple, 5 or 6.
Now they do have new head coach this year, new scheme and everything like that. So hopefully that they can get that squared away there.
Which I've never talked to Nate. He might be a little stinker.
Yeah, I could walk past.
He might get back. Coaches might be like, But he could be not a stinker.
Not a stinker.
The coach could be a little stinker. Like I said earlier, so he could have been like, I'm here all practice all the time. I'm here. I'm not going to say that.
Let's have him on the show next week and be like, are you a stinker?
Yeah. Nate, we need you on the show to answer one question. Stinker or not? But yeah, Southeastern, I think that they I don't think it's going to be a 1-9 season for them this year. I think they're going to be Adena. I really think they can step up and upset Piketon at home.
Minimum 2-8, dog, for real.
Yeah. I think 2-8. I think they
Westfall is a huge question mark too. You know, you got a lot of good players there and things like that. But even talking to coach, you're figuring out the quarterback and different things.
I think what helps them too, Westfall and Piketon both have to go to Southeastern. That's a long bus ride for those.
Southeastern reminds me a lot. It just reminds me a lot of Vinton County because they're just so close.
And I was gonna say they're right next to each other too.
And like Vinton County's close to being like in the middle of a cornfield. Southeastern is like
literally
right in the middle.
Literally in the middle of the cornfield.
Well, so's Adena.
And so is Paint Valley. All y'all schools are.
Nah, they're in a valley. That's painted.
No, yeah, we are actually.
Like,
in the
you
middle
could
of
be
two
like,
cornfields.
Yeah, dude, no, I was standing on the thing with the
it's
camera
called
last
Paint
year. I was
Valley
like,
though because you could literally paint that valley on a picture and it's fun.
it's gorgeous.
Alrighty, you guys ready to get into start bench cut?
Sure,
All right.
all of them.
Round 1, start bench cut. The NFL, college football, or high school football. Start bench cut.
Yeah, I'm cutting the NFL. I'm starting college.
And benching high school. All
Yeah.
right.
Only reason I'm benching high school instead of cutting them is because the podcast.
Yep. We would literally be out of a podcast.
I might cut the NFL as well for this reason. In the past couple of years, like it
Not
just
cared.
hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
And it's like, we haven't had the podcast for a couple of years, so it's not just this,
Yeah.
but it's,
Yeah.
I don't know,
mean,
like,
college football is
I'm not
officially
like,
back,
what's
baby.
the deal, like, with the quarterbacks and stuff? I want everybody to make bread, but the top 5 paid players in the NFL have never even sniffed a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
I mean?
true.
Like, that's kind of
One of
crazy.
them's a cowboy.
I mean, set the playoff win.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
But that being said,
We're wearing
I don't know. It's
assless
just it's
chaps.
kind of falling off for me. I still love every second of it, but what I've been finding more joy reading about and keeping up with is, and so I'll do college, high school.
Start college, bench
James
high school.
Madison has just brought me back to like just that
Beautiful stadium.
fanhood, and it's just like
Yeah.
them coming up, being D1, the whole the March Madness, everything. So
they're
we've
on
been.
college football like 25 to
Well, dude, our softball
Beautiful,
team a couple
beautiful
years back,
stadium.
remember, they were like the 12 seed and ended up making it the championship. They lost. But it's like that's the stuff we did all the time, even when I was there. And
Yeah.
it's like it's every sport. It's just a great school, and I'm really glad they're like on the map. So
If this question was before college football 25 came out, I would be starting high school football and benching college football. But playing that game again has made me re-fall in love with college football. Plus, like, college football Saturdays, man, I think are way better than NFL football Sundays. Because, like, you have, like, 5 to 6 channels of just nothing but college football. And then, like, what I love most, like, I'm a diehard Notre Dame fan, everything like that. But, like, last year, like, the game that sticks out of my mind is, like, late night Wyoming versus Texas Tech, like, week 2 of the season, like, 10 o'clock. Don't care. Or it's really Fresno State, I feel like, is on a lot. But, like, it's those late-night college football games, that just kind of get – like,
yeah, it's because they come on at 7.
yeah, and, like, they get you go until, like, 1, 2 in the morning, but you started at noon. So
Yeah.
you literally just had, like, 14 hours of nothing but college football. So, yeah, it's hard to not go with college football. I love high school football, though, just because of, like, man, like, the aspect of high school football. Going to the games, being around the games. It just means – I feel like it means more in high school than does in the NFL or college, just because of, like, in college, yeah, you may be playing for the school, but, like, people in, like, Ohio State, I live in Ohio, not an Ohio State fan, so I feel like it doesn't mean as much to the state. NFL, I mean, I just think it means more to the fans
You
than it
ask
does
an
the players.
actual Ohio Stater from Ohio, like from the state of Ohio, they'll be like, "Oh,
Yeah, but
I bleed scarlet."
But my
red,"
thing is, like, you
what have
go to Southeastern, Paint Valley, Vinton County. It doesn't matter if they're 10-0, if they're 0-10. Like, the people in that school, like, you don't go to Paint Valley and someone from Paint Valley, like, yeah, fuck the Bearcats, go Sherman.
dude, Huntington
You know
was
what I
one of the
mean?
best
Like-
games we did last year. Like
Yeah.
that community was friggin' awesome. You
Exactly.
know what I mean?
So
Like,
that's where I would go with the
I
high
mean,
school
I don't
football.
know. You have their alum tattooing their rivals on them and stuff.
That was
like
for
that.
charity and cancer. You saying you hate cancer? You saying
I
that,
do. Yes, I'm saying I hate
Good.
cancer.
Good.
I hate cancer.
Good.
100%.
F cancer.
All right, we're going to go to the next one. Start bench cut. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Go.
You can't just go.
I'll start Nintendo, bench PlayStation, cut Xbox.
Start Nintendo.
That's the wild one.
Yeah,
starting
tell-
Nintendo.
I'm not a gamer, so it's like I
is
still
Nintendo-
haven't played college football. I
missing out.
Was Nintendo like your thing growing
I just
up?
don't want to pay for it. It literally is price.
Yeah.
It's like,
I couldn't not pay for
but
it.
Nintendo, I just have way more memories on. Like the NES was like super early on. I remember Duck Hunt. I was super young, but like I still remember it. Gives the Super
I know, I
Nintendo.
remember
I'm playing the
that.
original Mario.
Yeah.
So like it was big when I was little, and then they still have the
that's-
Switch out now, and I bought that off of somebody at Applebee's for very, very cheap money. So I've got to dabble with it, you know.
Yeah, I haven't.
1-800-SAVE-A-BUCK or two.
Save a buck or two.
You want this thing?
I
for
haven't dabbled
I
in the
said
Switch game yet.
$60. Deal.
Deal. I would. So this came down to me of how much do I.
I've never played, like, never had or owned an Xbox. I was PlayStation my whole life too.
So this came down to me of do I want to cut Halo out of my life? Because at first I thought, do I want to cut out MLB The Show or do I want to cut out Halo? And then I realized that the show can now be played on Xbox. So then it was like, well, do I really want to cut Halo out of my life? And the answer is no, I don't. So, but the thing is, if you cut the PlayStation, you're technically cutting the PS3 out of your life, which is the best gaming console ever fucking made in my eyes. I can't cut Nintendo. Nintendo has to be on my bench because I'm not getting rid of the GameCube because that was what I had growing up.
That's the thing.
That
There's
was
so
my
much
game.
For me,
childhood
the
to
Nintendo
it.
64 is like because I have a GameCube and 64 downstairs, but the 64 is what holds
Is-
the
See,
childhood
I
memories.
never played the 64 growing up. I only had the game. I've told you, my mom did not want us having like consoles when we were kids. And then what did my grandma do? Bought us a GameCube. For
Way to go,
Christmas.
G-Mom.
Yeah. So thank Grandma. Mom was pissed. So then my mom wouldn't buy me anything else. So I just was growing up on a GameCube. But I am also smart enough to realize that it's not good enough to start. I have to bench it. But I think I have to go with Xbox just because there's no game specifically for PlayStation that I would lose that I'd give a shit about. To where Xbox, if I lost Halo, I don't think I would like that a lot.
I might even switch. Now that you say that, I'm convinced. It's like,
Yeah.
I still want to play Halo. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it when I played.
Adam, you are up.
I'm
I made this question specifically for you, just so
I'm
we're-
interested.
Yeah,
this one's a hard one.
yeah, I know. That's why I was like, Adam's
Because
gonna
the
like.
history, if you're talking like
Yeah.
right now, like obviously Nintendo
Yeah.
might not be putting out as much stuff.
Yeah.
if
Probably
any.
gonna I'm
$60
probably
Switches.
gonna bench Nintendo because like you guys didn't even talk about the Game Boy.
That's
Oh,
true.
shit.
You
That's
guys
true.
didn't even
Which
talk
is
about the
another
Game Boy.
thing
Like,
I
that
didn't
was
really
like-
get to play.
That was
growing
like
up. Yeah.
most of my childhood.
Dude.
Like, that was like my.
I do
first
guess
That's
I'm
huge.
cutting the PSP, which was a big part of my childhood.
Every
but-
road trip, everywhere I went as a kid, I was
the
like,
DS.
my grandma's gonna ruin my entire weekend with like 8 hours of just nonsense. I need my Game Boy.
Yeah.
So that's definitely gonna have to go on the bench.
Man, Nintendo, way to live up for our childhood.
They really have.
Now,
Nintendo.
this start is gonna be wild.
Are you going PlayStation?
I'm starting PlayStation.
I am.
Dude,
It
and I-
has
Now
to
is
be
it
because of the
quality or
PlayStation
what?
3, right?
I'm Xbox through and through. No, it's the exclusives like Marvel Wolverine, all the Spider-Man games, like any
Ooh, I love
Spider-Man
those.
DLC, you
Ooh,
can't
yeah.
get it on the Xbox because
Yeah.
Sony owns it.
Yeah.
Uncharted, go
Does
to
the
series.
was the Batman games? Are they
no,
both?
no. Like I guess there was a Batman game that was like it was like Batman It was basically like a Telltale game, but like the Arkham Knight series is kind of in that, but you could play it on other forums and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 2, and then the PlayStation 3 has all of those rolled into one.
See, the
The
PlayStation
PlayStation
3
one
was
was awesome.
what was holding them in first, like in the start for me, because the PlayStation 3 was for the people.
Oh,
Free internet. Free internet.
If you give me the option to go back as a kid and it was like, hey, do you want a
Say it again.
PlayStation?
Free internet. I know. I was looking right at you. I'm like, you want to talk about
I
free?
love it though. It was like
Me
preach.
personally, I was like, yeah, you guys can keep that. Like, I'd still take the Xbox 360 over the PlayStation 3 because
Yeah.
I was probably like 6 months that the PlayStation Network was down, and there was like not everybody got their shit hacked, but a decent bit of people got their shit hacked from in California. It was like I remember calling my friend Stan. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, nothing, just playing solo zombies. You trying to come over?" And I'm like, "No, I'm playing with my friends online."
See, the thing was too, like I had a PlayStation 3, but when I would go to somebody else's house, I prayed they had a 360, but I didn't want.
I was not a fan of Halo. I
Yeah.
called it something else with a G in front
Yeah,
of
I
it.
figured that. I loved Halo. I was never a Call of Duty guy. Not that I didn't think that the games were bad. I just wasn't.
Wait, do you
good
like Call
at
of
them.
Duty?
No. MVD's big Halo guy.
Hey, I'm a Call of Duty person, but yeah.
Also, Game On has a thing in the back, like a Halo statue from like when
They
the
got
first
Master
game
Chief.
ever got released.
It's from Game 2.
Is it?
I think so. 'cause
It
you said
is
2004. Is
sexy,
that when
bro.
the first one came out, Derek, or the
Sexy.
second?
You got to give Halo props too, because
2004.
like even their story mode at that time was just the gameplay was so
Yep.
much sicker than
Unmatched.
anything that's going on.
Unmatched.
Like you had like the automatic laser weapons.
Don't
that
get
just
me wrong. The
that hit
story was
different.
like it always seemed cool, but like I remember playing online, and I went like 27-2 like my first time, and I was like, this game.
See,
seems
so I'm
fun.
not-
I like seeing the bullets. I kind of like that you could like.
I
I'm
don't like
not-
the Halo jumping.
I'm
Yeah,
not
that's true,
I'm not an
too.
online guy. I'm more for the story. I did think that the
Me too.
only good story that I've really truly enjoyed from Call of Duty is Modern Warfare 2. But
That one you need
That's
to
like-
play
Is that
like
the
2
airplane
games.
one?
Huh?
Where you're in the airport in the beginning
Yeah,
of
that's
it.
the terminal.
yeah,
It's like,
but Halo for me always had, like we were just talking about, like with a better story for the game mode. So that's why
there's
I
a
live-
meme. It's like a meme of Homelander just looking angry, and Homelander from The Boys, and it was just like me, like 6 seconds after insert big thing that happens in Halo, and you're trying to make like the Warthog run, and it's just he's crying, just driving. 'Cause, like if you haven't played the game, I'm not going to ruin it for you just because I have. Even though the game came out in 2000, like
What-
2
yeah.
was the first one.
Dude,
4
so
was the
where
second.
I was thinking this the other day, like where I got like it's so dumb that I can't say Xbox One, but like the first Xbox that came out.
The original Xbox
Yeah.
is what I call it.
I have that now because my uncle gave it to me, and I was like, man, I have to go buy like because I played the Master Chief.
Did you
where
have
get
that
all
as a
of them.
kid?
No, it was at my grandma's.
See, I had one of those as a kid. Like I got it like as
sad.
like my
Yeah.
11th birthday. But it was when the 360 came out. Like my brother got one for his birthday, and I was like, "Oh, I want an Xbox." He goes, "Oh, well, he's trying to copy me." I was like, "No, I was talking about the first one. I
Yeah.
wasn't. But
I
like,
wasn't, but
I
I
got
had
the
to save
first one, and then
face.
the following year, I got the 360. But
All right, next and last one. These are all cookies: chocolate chip, peanut butter, or snickerdoodle.
starting
And you get to
peanut butter.
pick your own ones and stuff. Like,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
starting peanut butter, and then I'm gonna bench chocolate chip. I like snickerdoodles.
So you're cutting snickerdoodles.
I like them, but it's just if a good homemade chocolate chip cookie is almost unmatched. The only thing that beats it, well, not the only thing, but it's something that clears it for sure, is a homemade peanut butter cookie.
Okay, Tony.
I'm gonna go chocolate chip cookie, snickerdoodle, cup peanut butter. I love
Really?
them, but it's just they don't have anything different. Like it's like
except deliciousness.
no, they're great. They really are. But I also want the chocolate chip to be a little chewy. Like I don't want like a Chips Ahoy.
So
See, I like the Chips Ahoy. I think like Chips Ahoy cookies and milk, like that's a staple of my childhood. It's right there with the Nintendo.
Original Chips Ahoy are great for dunking. You do
Yeah.
the chewy, you're gonna be dripping.
see,
Yeah.
so
I don't be eating cookies without milk. I have to have
Yeah.
like because of
Yeah.
Chips Ahoy
See, that makes-
cookies.
that makes
I am
I
solidified.
prefer
in-
the Chips Ahoy
yeah.
if I'm dunking.
Yeah,
Well,
that's,
see-
I always dunk.
I'm gonna start snickerdoodle. Sorry, Savannah, but she's dying because cinnamon. Love them.
Yeah.
Peanut butter is gonna be my
allergic.
bitch.
He's gonna
She's
be making
allergic to
snickerdoodles
cinnamon.
and just
Yeah.
blowing it in her face. Like,
Don't care.
You have to take that into account. You're not
Yeah.
allowed to just lose
Don't
your
care.
life.
Having the snickerdoodles. Starting snickerdoodles. I'm gonna binge peanut butter. And I'll tell you right now, may have cut peanut butter if it wasn't for Adam cooking peanut butter cookies a couple days ago, and they were it. So I was like, yep, gonna binge them.
I'm
And
so
I'm
good of a
gonna
chef
cut
myself.
chocolate chip because I told Adam this the other day, and people might hate me for it. Not a big chocolate chip cookie fan.
I mean, they're white bread. They're the Superman of cookies. They're
I feel
boring.
like
you
you-
know,
like-
they're Jim. They're
for me,
they're the accountant that you end up going
every
home
time
with
I
'cause
eat a
it's
chocolate
safe.
chip cookie, I just feel like there's too much chocolate in it, which I'm not a huge chocolate fan.
I
in the
completely
first place.
agree.
You know, and I was telling him the ones I really hate are the ones that people say they love. They have like the giant chocolate chunks in them, which I guess at that point it's not chocolate chip, but I don't know. That's just unnecessary
I
amount
think
of chocolate.
people like fail at chocolate chip cookies a lot too, so you be getting a lot of bad ones throughout the time
Honorable
period.
And
mention
everybody
of, like,
always
one of
tells
my
you that they have
favorites
the best chocolate chip cookies.
is
I
if
feel
you
like.
get the Hershey's Kiss.
you
right?
get them, you're like mid at best.
You take the Hershey Kiss and you take the peanut butter cookie and you put the Hershey Kiss
Oh, I like
on
those
it.
too.
Yeah.
Around
Oh,
Christmas,
you
people
get them
be
like
making them.
Christmas.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's sugar cookies instead of peanut butter, but if you get the
Oh, that's
peanut
true,
butter
too.
sugar cookie, oh, dude, I mean,
I'd slap.
talk
I love-
about.
I will tell you though, whenever you said like if you get the perfectly made chocolate chip, homemade, perfectly
Oh, like
made.
grandma's cookies from
Yeah,
SpongeBob.
I'll give you that. Those are hard to beat. but those are few and far between.
Have you guys seen the SpongeBob? It used to be on YouTube. It'd be making fun of SpongeBob, and they did a voiceover for that.
No.
Oh, dude, this is hilarious. Like, as soon as I said it, I just thought of it. It was Grandma's ass cheeks.
Jeez.
Don't be talking about grandmas. We got the goat over here
Yeah,
buying Xbox.
my grandma got me a GameCube. Now, I will tell you, my grandma could not make cookies to save her life. Not good at. Love you, Grams. Don't love your cookies. But she don't watch the show, so we're
If you had to pick one, you want your grandma to make cookies or be a complete savage?
Hey, buy me a
Tell your
GameCube?
mom to go
Yeah.
F off and be like, I'm getting the cube.
Give me that cube.
That's not even the coolest thing is Grandma did. Is Grandma helped, she knew Sean Kemp.
Yeah, they were. Did I ever tell you that? My dad played AAU basketball with Sean Kemp, and it took me a few years to realize it because when they would talk about him, they just called him Sean. Because if you're friends with me, I don't call you Tony Belmonte every time I talk about you. So I'm like, wait, are we talking about Sean Kemp here? And they're like, yeah.
What's
no,
wild
100%.
is when I went over to when we went to watch the Knicks game, the Knicks Pacers playoff game. His one of the first things his grandma said to him was like, "I wonder if Sean knows Bobby's past."
Yeah.
his dad being Bobby, and I
Dude,
was
and
I knew Sean, she knew Sean Kemp, so I was like, just talk about Sean Kemp.
just called him Sean. And I say that to people around here. They're like, yeah, BS. And then thank God, a couple weeks before my dad died, he sent me a roster that had them on there. I'm like, boom.
They just hang out
Greatness.
and stuff at his house.
Yeah, so Sean Kemp's parents didn't live anywhere near my dad, and they were on the same AAU team. So Sean Kemp just stayed at my dad's house over the summer while they're just destroying AAU, absolute goat. So yeah, just a little tidbit of my dad's crazy freaking life. But talk about crazy and talk about goats. We're going to talk about a guy that led Jackson last year to a 10-2 season. Only lost in the regular season to Ironton, but then after that just ran the table, winning a playoff game. Now coming back for more this year, ready to absolutely destroy the FAC and every other team they play this year. The one and only Bodhi Wolford. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How's it going with you guys?
Hey, we're doing pretty good. Hey, so we have had this internal discussion. Thought we'd just start off with it. You and Cade, are you guys related, brother, cousins? How are you guys related?
Yeah, we're brother. He's my older brother. He's 2 years older than me.
When are we going to get him in the Kent State game for EA college football? Because we are ready to roll with him.
So he thought he was going to be in there, but him and a lot of the other freshmen at Kent State didn't get submitted on the depth chart, so that's why he's not in there.
Oh, well, we're going to have to get him in the updated one because they have some rosters coming out to be updated, so hopefully we'll see him in there. And that we actually want to ask you, too, knowing that your brother's now, what was it like last year? Because you kind of started bursting on the scene a few weeks into the season. What was it like to have your brother right there by your side going through an amazing football season that you guys, none of your wins were close. I think the closest one was 49-21. That was the closest stuff they had last year. So what was that like to experience that with your brother, man?
It was awesome. It's a dream come true. It's what we've been dreaming for since we were little kids, and just to see it played out how it did, it was really special.
It played out just as special as I'm sure it had to feel. Now, was he kind of there to give you some confidence when you needed it, or was it just kind of like you stepped in, you were ready to roll, and you guys were cooking last year?
For sure, definitely early in the season, I was getting nervous for my first starts and whatnot, but he just gave me some confidence and some words of advice for to stay confident in the moment and just let what all I've worked for play out.
Hell yeah, man! And we were watching your highlights, and you don't only you have an amazing arm on you, but you are pretty elusive there in the pocket. A lot of rolling out, making a guy miss, breaking some tackles. Were you always a quarterback, or it kind of looked like you had some running back style movement there. So did you play running back before, or were you always been a quarterback?
Yeah, actually, I just made the transition to quarterback in my freshman year. So all throughout elementary school and middle school, I played running back, and I just made the transition my freshman year.
So last year was only the second year you've played quarterback.
Yeah.
That's scary. Like, could you imagine if this kid's been playing quarterback his entire season?
And on that, I guess, as you're starting to stack up the seasons, are you ready? We've had a brother-brother combo on as well where his brother graduated last year. He played quarterback. Now he gets to step up. Are you ready to kind of break out of that shell and kind of, put your own stamp on your last name?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely make a name for myself. And but we got a good running back coming up. He played for us last year too.
Yeah.
So I'm fully confident in him and filling my brother's
Is
shoes.
he looking bigger this year?
Yeah, I was about to say,
dude, I
Nolan,
just saw a picture. Good God.
Yeah, he's getting big. I want to ask you about because you got Nolan Johnson coming back this year, Eli Ray. I mean, you guys are looking like we could be having an upset week 2 over Ironton. So how's the team looking with all these guys coming back? We feeling confident going into this season?
Yeah, definitely confident with the majority of our starters last year coming back. Some key linemen too. We didn't lose many linemen, but again, in those spots that need filled, we're having young guys step up and fill those roles definitely.
Hell yeah, and I want to kind of go back real quick because you lose a guy like Cade. He goes Division I. Obviously, he's a great player, but like you said, you have Nolan Johnson stepping up to take that role. You still got a lot of guys coming back from last year. How do you kind of, I guess, say address losing a great player like Cade, but then having other guys step up into that role?
No, yeah, like I said, Nolan, for instance, he's a really good running back. Already has some Division I offers, so I'm fully confident in him and to lead our running game, and just to lead the team.
Now, I do want to ask you, Jackson. No secret. I mean, a long history of winning games, being a conference. I mean, probably being one of the bigger staples in our area of, this is what people want their football program to be like. What does it mean to you, and what's the feeling like to put on those pads and to have that Jackson Ironman like on your chest, knowing what you're playing for from the past behind you to the future ahead of you?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely special. Since a young age, you're told to, being a Jackson Ironman means a lot. So it's just really special to put on those pads and to have the success that I do.
Do you ever kind of before a game, maybe sit back and be like, damn, I'm literally about to be part of a big time history, a big history in a big school?
I mean, not really.
Actually,
it's really just, especially before a game, I'm just pretty locked in on what I'm doing. But definitely in my free time, I think about that sometimes. Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's. I kind of like where you're actually before the game, I'm locked in on beating the absolute shit about whoever we're about to be playing.
Switching from running back, watching your highlights I was watching some of the stuff that you put up on Twitter. The ball comes out of your hand so well. When you're coming out of 8th grade and going into that freshman year, did they just see it and be like, oh, this kid has it, because or is it something that you just worked on?
Well, I naturally had some arm talent, but in these past 2 years, I've put a lot of work in. Went to some quarterback coaches, and that's really helped me with my mechanics and all that.
Dude, it comes out of your hand like a rocket, almost effortlessly. Very, very good.
Now, one thing I wanted to ask you is about your guys' rivalry with Wheelersburg. Because I know you guys have been in a few conferences over the years and stuff like that, but one staple game that's really always been on your guys' schedule is Wheelersburg and Ironton. You guys have getting the better of Wheelersburg the past couple of years, and then those Ironton games have been just coming down to the wire. What does it mean to you to play in those games, against Wheelersburg, against Ironton, when not just all the eyes in Jackson in that town are on you, all the eyes in the state are on you guys that week and on that game? What does it mean to get to play in those kind of rivalry games?
Oh, it's definitely special. Every time we play them, the environment's crazy and it's just really, really special.
It's like two powerhouses. It's literally whenever the Colts had Peyton Manning and the Patriots had Tom Brady. And like every single year they're coming at each other like 10-0, 8-2 or whatever, like really good records. Two absolute powerhouses coming together. Those weeks got to have a little bit extra juice to them compared to the other ones, right?
Yeah, definitely. From like in the off season, those games are definitely ones that we have circled on our schedule for sure.
Oh yeah, everybody's sitting there still gonna be like, oh, ready for them Pirates and Tigers, man. Ready for them Pirates and Tigers. Now, we will kind of ask you one of the harder questions here. We've been talking about Miami Trace. There's been a lot of people talking about Miami Trace maybe taking over and winning the FAC, or as we call it here on the Ride the Wave, the FAC. But you guys have had that division on lockdown for quite a while, so, you know, what are we maybe, I guess, worried about any upsets, or are you guys just ready to take care of business and try to have an undefeated season?
Yeah, not really worried about it at all. We're ready to take care of business, like I said, and I feel like it happens every year. Like someone other than the Ironmen in our league are kind of favored over us, which gives us kind of an edge to those league games. But no, just our mentality to those games, they don't really change at all. We're still looking to, you know, beat them and not just beat them by a little bit, you know, blow them out by 40.
Oh, well,
We
you
can
have,
tell.
I was about to say, yeah, you have done that pretty good. You have kept that status quo going.
That first game, they might win by 1 million.
Oh, dude, yeah. It's going to be because we are big anti-Logan people over here.
I
right?
guess.
Yeah.
I guess we are, yeah.
All right, now, Bodhi, Adam, did you have a question for Bodhi?
I did not know.
Okay, I didn't know. So, Bodhi, now we do have some real hard journalism questions here for you. Probably going to be the hardest questions you're going to get today, possibly in your life. So, we do know it might take you a minute to answer them, but that's A-okay. We're going to do, first off, with start, bench, cut, all right? You got start one, bench one, cut one, obviously. We're going to go with Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Start, bench, cut. What are you doing?
All right, so I'm benching Nintendo. I haven't really played that ever, so but the Xbox and PlayStation is hard because I used to have an Xbox, but now I got a PlayStation. But I'm gonna say start PlayStation and cut. Well, hold on. Cut. I meant cut Nintendo.
Okay.
Start PlayStation and bench Xbox.
All right. Now, hey, what are our favorite games that we're playing on PlayStation or Xbox? Either one.
I haven't got the NCAA game yet. I really want that.
Oh, it's fire.
I'm probably gonna buy it here in the next few days.
Yeah.
But other than that, like Madden usually, and
Nice.
You'll never play
know,
again.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you play that new college football, man will be dead to you. Now, are we taking
Yeah.
Kent State as our first dynasty and taking your brother to the championship, or who are we picking as the first dynasty when we get NCAA football?
Yeah, probably Kent State.
Hey, I will say their stadium and jerseys on the game are top
They
tier.
were going to be my first dynasty, but I saw that Cade wasn't on there. So
Yeah,
like,
we're
I'm going somewhere
we're
else.
boycotting them until
Yeah.
Cade gets on there. All right, next one is going to be another start bench cut here for you, brother. We got chocolate chip cookies, peanut butter cookies, snickerdoodles. Start bench cut. What are you picking?
I gotta cut peanut butter cookies because I'm actually allergic to peanut butter.
That would
so
be smart.
I'm
Then.
cutting them.
Yeah, that would be smart
And
to
then,
cut them out.
yeah, I'm a start chocolate chip cookies and what was the other one you said? Snickerdoodle.
Yeah, snickerdoodle.
Yeah, I'm a bench them.
All right, that's close to your list there.
That's my one.
I was going to say, is that your list? That's what I thought. All right, we got one more for you, man. On the start bench cut, it is pizza, burgers, wings. Start bench cut.
So that's a good question. I'm a cut pizza.
Ooh,
Twice today.
yeah.
Are the wings boneless or traditional?
Whichever one
Whatever
you
you
want,
want.
boneless or bone-in.
All right, so I'm a start wings and bench burger.
Nice. Now, where are your favorite place to get wings?
Roosters.
No,
I like
that's
their-
2 for
I like
2
theirs
on
a
the
lot.
Roosters today.
They're just super solid,
They are.
all around wing.
What kind of sauce you getting?
Either barbecue or honey barbecue. One of
Nice.
the two.
You gotta try the Carolina Gold too
I was
sometimes.
hoping he was going to say that so I could use the same joke.
All right, now we got another question for you. Who is somebody in the NFL that maybe you either model your game after, or you just absolutely love watching them as one of your favorite players?
I'd probably say Patrick Mahomes because
Nice.
he makes a lot of good plays and on the throwing the ball as well as running the ball, but he also doesn't turn the ball over much, and that's really what I pride myself in is not turn the ball over because that leads to bad stuff in the game.
Yeah, I will say you definitely pride yourself in that because I want to make sure. Yeah, 2 interceptions on the whole year last year. That's it. 2 with sorry, I forgot to say 17 touchdowns and 1,200 yards. So yeah, I would definitely say you do a great job of not turning the ball over. All right, one more for you, man. So you're on a deserted island. All right, you can bring one food with you that will last forever. Like say if you bring a cheeseburger, you eat the cheeseburger. You say you want another cheeseburger, it'll be right there forever. Or you pick one food, music, either an artist or a band, and one survival tool. What are you picking?
So food, probably gonna be wings.
Yeah, just told you. Gotta keep them chickens coming.
Music, the artist probably be Luke Combs.
Nice.
Dig it.
Okay.
Survival tool. I don't know. Probably like a knife or something.
Okay, so knife is. I said a sword.
I think you should say football. Could you imagine him out there and it's just like, I need to take this bird out to get some extra food? And he's
It's like, how'd you kill that boar? I threw a football at it, and it went through the boar. Like, that's insane. Now, hey, what's one of your favorite Luke Combs songs?
When It Rains, It Pours is probably my favorite one, but I like the new ones too.
Nice. That is a pretty good one. I'm not a big Luke Combs fan, but that is one that I like by him.
yeah. I don't listen to his music too much, but I saw like what he did for that lady that got in trouble for the tumblers and stuff. I don't know if you heard about that. Just went right down there. Was like, I had nothing to do with my legal team. They're all fired. Here's 15 grand, and I'm sorry about this. I was like, not many rich people would take the time to go down and do that. So I respected the hell out of that.
Now, hey, man, what are we doing in our spare time? Are we playing video games? Are we just hanging out with friends? What are we doing when we're not dying on the football field?
Golfing. Me and my friends go golfing a lot.
Okay.
Actually went yesterday. Yeah, we like doing that a lot. That's what we spend most of our summer doing.
Now, what are you more of a drive game, short game? What's your best kind of golf shot? Mine's the drive. I can drive the shit out of the ball, but I can't do anything else.
Yeah, that's like me. I can drive. My short game is absolutely terrible.
And from what I've learned, it doesn't get better. Because people are always working on their short. I feel like every time you talk to somebody,
drive for show, putt for dough. The old saying.
That's true. Mm-hmm. That's true. Well, hey man. So what? We want to ask you one last question before we get out of here. What should we be expecting from these Jackson Ironmen this year going into the season?
10-0.
Yeah, like he said, 10-0. Hopefully, just winning every game. And like I said earlier. We don't go into games looking to beat people by just a little bit. We want to blow you out. So just have that mindset with every game and see where it goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you think he's lying, let me just read off these scores from you. These are all dubs by them. 56-48, that was the closest one. Then 44-14, 49-21, 42-13, 63-21, 62-14. 48-7 and 49-14, which was the playoff game.
I've been on the other side of one of those.
Yeah, I'm so glad I never played Jackson in high school. I'm so glad. Well, hey man, we wish you guys the best of luck. Also, you, Nolan, and Eli, mock drafts are flying off the boards for high school fantasy. So we look forward to keeping up with that this year with you guys and hopefully catching one of your guys' games this year.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the absolute killer on the football field, Bodhi Wolford. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you.
When he said, I try not to turn the ball over. Yeah, you have 2 interceptions. And I do believe One of them was like a off the wide receiver tip up in the air catch. So really, he only had one interception last year. So, we talked with Guthrie last week. I am high on Miami Trace, but it is hard to go against Jackson.
Dude,
man.
that Nolan Johnson's huge.
Yeah, and knowing that they brought back most of their line from last year, that's scary.
Yeah.
It's sad that they only lost pretty much Cade Wolford, and I think he said like maybe a couple of wide receivers. So like a Division I player, and you can look at him and say, not much different.
Well, he was saying that Nolan was getting a couple Division I offers already.
Yes.
Well.
So like when you're replacing Division I player with another Division I player for the past 30 years, like you're gonna just have one of the best. We should have asked him what's good if they know it's going to be like whenever Rio's playing there. I wonder if that's going to be because like will Rio practice there or will they only play there?
I think they just play there on Saturday.
It looked like Quincy had some like side yard action. At
Well, they have like 8 soccer fields
I don't even know
over
if
there.
Jackson practices on that magnificent field they keep.
Yeah, because
It's
they don't.
gorgeous.
They're one of the only schools I think right that has turf, but they don't have like lacrosse and all those other things. It's just a turf.
They got
football
soccer.
field. Do they have soccer lines?
They
on
got
it?
a hell of a soccer team.
Okay. Well, I knew
They're like Chill
I knew
Coffee,
they had a
basically.
soccer team, but I didn't know if they had like a different so Piketon
believe
has
so.
a different complex for soccer, or they did before they moved
A
everything.
lot of times
over
they just
there.
give the soccer team the old stadium.
See, that's why you
or old
Pay
field.
Valley. You're so small. You only got
Yeah.
football to worry about. Like
Yeah, the old Jackson football field was like more for like youth and stuff like that. Like
yeah.
that was the thing. Like Jackson, there was always Jackson Red and Jackson White, and it was always them and Vinton County is like who's the best in like the little league that we played.
Yeah.
Every now and then you know like when we played them, there's like they were good. That's why when I got to high school, like Jackson was the only one that was still good. I was like, why?
It's kind of
What
crazy
happened?
because you're talking about earlier. Like you kind of see Uniota, Vinton County, like all these schools that are like really good in Pee Wee. Then they get to high school and
Yeah.
except for Uniota's past 4 years, they really just never flourished into any kind of
Yeah.
high school success. Alrighty, I think next up is the courtroom. Courtroom session?
We just go straight to the draft.
All right. It is time to draft. Today we will be drafting the best buffet foods, a.k.a. best food to have in a buffet. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's food for a buffet.
Yeah, that's 100%. So how it's going to be this week is going to be Adam, Tony, then me. Adam, you are first on the clock.
Oh, dude, I kind of want to trade this one away for next week.
Yeah, well.
Well, what's the offer?
What?
So I just
Yeah,
said
'cause
you're
next
last,
week-
you just get first this week, and I get first next week.
Next week would be Tony's pick first, so I guess that would be between you two if you want to do that.
I'll do it for you.
That works.
All right, so Adam, you go second. Tony, you will be first this week.
I'm gonna hit a weird one. I don't think anybody would have took it, but I want the salad bar portion of it.
I almost put that on my list.
I just loved I love being when I was younger being able to like make my own whatever you can put 13 pounds of bacon on it if that was your mood. You can get you can be healthy technically if you wanted to.
I'm
But,
technically healthy until I put like 7 gallons of dressing on
Yeah.
my salad.
and you can like mix dressings. That's the first time I ever tried
Yeah.
ranch and Italian. I don't eat it now, but back then I thought it was fire.
Yeah. No, I almost went salad bar. I just was too fat, I guess, to put it on there. But that's a good first pick. Adam, you're up. What's your
I
first
just
pick?
realized the clear number one, mac and cheese.
Man, I definitely thought that was gonna get to me at
Yeah.
number 3. I did
Yeah,
not
mac
think you
and
guys
cheese.
think of that. Mac and cheese is a good one. Now, I will ask this: do you like your mac and cheese soupy or more kind of like the?
Is the soup like some sort of like just melted cheese?
I guess that's kind of what it'd be like. Yeah, like.
Oh, dude, I just want it cheese. Like I want
Adam
so
said,
much
I want mac
cheese.
and cheese minus the mac.
Is it cheese juice or what?
Like, my
Is it cheese juice or what?
American Dad made me laugh way too loud the other day because just like, so Stan's in his room and he's like, oh my god, and then Roger comes in from the other room. He's like, yeah, I know. Kraft made their mac and cheese even cheesier. I don't know if I can handle it.
I don't know if I can
It was like Stan was dealing with some like existential crisis that was like actually important, and Rogers came in talking nonsense.
I will say I don't like the hard mac and cheese. Like if it's baked, it can still be great, but it's like sometimes I feel like they over bake it, and then it like when you cut it, it's like super easy to cut. And there's no.
I like it if it's only because my mom does this, like when she bakes her mac and cheese, the top part is like crunchy, a little hard, but the surface underneath is all gooey.
It's almost got to be
My
tough
favorite-
to scoop.
my favorite
I don't want
like
you to be
that-
able to get me a square. I want it to be
Yeah.
like cut the top square so I know where I'm digging out of, but the rest is digging.
My thing is I like both versions of that, especially if you just have some sort of cheese next to it.
I was about to say,
You could
he's
do
like,
spray
is
cheese.
there cheese? Yeah, then I like it. Okay.
put more cheese on top of it, like liquid melted.
Man, and for me to
Velveeta,
think mac and cheese was going to make it to me.
like, liquid gold, Velveeta,
Yeah,
liquid gold, dude.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
Get your own
Like, just give me a cheese fountain, and I'll put it. Cheese.
okay, so I got 2 picks here. I'm kind of let you guys kind of be the judge of it, which I don't think should be a good idea. But so the first one is I'm
No.
picking pizza. Am
Yeah,
I allowed to pick
that was-
like
that
a
was gonna be-
pizza buffet, or is it just like at Golden Corral where they have
it's
the
like
thing of pizza?
it's like Ponderosa's. It is pizza.
Yeah,
it's
like
you
there's
got
just
a
pizza part of the
Otherwise, you're
buffet.
going to CC's. Congratulations,
Okay.
you're only picking pizza for all 5 of them.
Okay.
And as we discussed on previous episodes, dog shit food.
I look, pizza's awesome.
No, CC's.
Oh no, I'm on the opposite train of that. I love CC's.
Yeah.
Actually,
I like the idea.
what was better than CC's
I like
was
picking my
Godfather's.
slice. I could always pick the best slice. You're like, ooh.
Did you ever go to Godfather's?
Uh-uh.
Dude, their dessert pizza, I would.
I like
I would
the
turn into
idea
Ted
of
Bundy
CC's if
that.
it was ran by like a Donato's or
Yeah.
Giovanni's.
Hey, Giovanni's. Oh, damn,
That
you're
would be
onto something.
crazy.
There. Giovanni's in Hillsboro has a pizza buffet. Best pizza buffet I've ever been to in my entire life.
That's called Ohio Valley. Cutting your pizzas into squares
Yeah.
is called Ohio
Dude, my
Valley.
stepmom
There's
was
a,
from Ohio. That's why I'm kind of
yeah.
out here. She would came back to Philly, and
Oh,
she
dude,
would
there's
ask
a-
the pizza places to cut it in squares. They were disgusted.
There's a
they
there's
remember,
a,
They were just.
they remembered
there's a
her.
pizza
Like I
place
swear
in,
to when I would pick up the pizza, like they would look at me and just be like,
The
there's
square
a
guys
place in,
here.
Be like, "Can I get it
it's
half
like close
sliced
to
normal?"
Fort Hood in Texas that a dude like is from here and he moved there because he was in the army and just ended up living there. He's like, I'm gonna open up a pizza place and only cuts his pizza in the Ohio Valley, and everybody from Ohio, not everybody, but a lot of people from this area go there. So like his pizza sells more than everybody's. And he's like, somebody asked him, like, how are you like so good at something? He's like, oh, well, I'm from Ohio. I cut my pizza like I'm from Ohio. So Ohio people come to Texas 30 hours away from home, and they're like, I want to feel like home. Let me get this pizza cut like from home.
It'd be funny too if it was like dog shit pizza and they're just buying it because like. Did I ever tell you about the Pizza King over my grandma's house?
No.
There's
Yeah.
There's this place called the Pizza King over in Brownsburg, Indiana, not open anymore because it was awesome. They put like a GameCube and Nintendo 64 something in like your booth. They bring you the pizza on a train, like in the like. If there's like a cutout right here, and then like it would come on a train, then you'd eat the pizza and it would suck ass. So that's probably why they went out of business. Because unless you went there to eat it, you fucking did not want it at all. Okay, then my second one, since I can't pick like a whole Chinese buffet, I
was gonna say you couldn't really pick any Chinese food because that's just not at a normal buffet.
I know
but
because
guess
I
you
was
can.
gonna go with chicken lo mein.
Yeah.
Like
I was gonna go General Tso's, but that's why I was like, I need a second. Pick to
okay,
kinda
so
go
we're
with
just
myself.
cutting Chinese food out.
That
then.
was my thought process. It's up to you,
Tony.
guys.
I'm kind of all right with it because you're making your own imaginary buffet.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
you get your cook back there. You're like, I want the steak guy, I want the pizza guy, I want this guy.
I'll say at least with the lo mein.
But it can't be anything like too crazy. Like you said,
I'll
like a
just say
chicken
I'll
lo
get the-
mein.
I'll just be able to get the lo mein noodles, no chicken in it, because I
enough.
feel like that's kind of.
That's fair.
I think that's even how it is.
That's a
at
happy
China-
medium.
Yeah,
I like
so
it.
I'm just gonna pick lo mein noodles.
That's still a good choice. I enjoy that.
Lo mein. All right. So I got pizza and I got lo mein. I'm liking mine so far. All right, Adam. Are we going 4 or 5? I think we can go 5 with this one.
Yeah. Now,
Five,
since
okay.
he's got the whole like salad bar, does that mean can I draft the dessert bar?
Yeah, you know, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Yeah.
do. It's because like
Absolutely.
I had
Or
in
should our
mind,
fifth pick be the dessert?
well,
that you would have
mine's
at the
going,
end of your
like,
buffet?
I was gonna
No,
go
'cause
like
I wasn't even going to pick anything dessert.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
thought of it either.
yeah,
No.
dessert bar.
So,
Like,
yeah,
the
you
whole
get the
reason
whole
I
bar.
thought of this. The whole reason
We're
I
both
thought
over
of
here
this-
like, well, we were
Well, I
gonna
just
take
like dessert. Yeah, I was there like, what would I pick?
Oh, dude, the only reason I thought of this is at Ponderosa's, especially the one in Jackson, they had a dessert like little, like obviously the bar and the little fridge with cheesecake in it. Dude, I love cheesecake, dude.
You love cheese.
Cheesecake
There's no
would
cheese in
1,000% would have been mine as well. It's my favorite dessert.
I'm glad that you thought of Ponderosa for this whole draft because I thought of Golden Corral the whole draft. Like
That's
when I go
another
to
one,
Golden
yeah.
Corral, what do I?
Have you guys ever heard of Old Country Buffet?
No.
No.
Okay. That
No
was
Country
our
for Old
buffet. We
Buffet.
had no
yes.
Ponderosa, no Golden Corral, but they wanted to make us feel like we were from Ohio, so they called it Old Country Buffet.
Whenever I
liked my joke, old country for no buffet.
whenever me and
no country for old buffet.
my uncle when I was going on that road trip. Was that last summer? Yeah, last summer. And I picked him up to go back to Indiana. We stopped at a place called Buffet. And I was like, what kind of buffet is it?
Dig it.
Dude, it was a Chinese buffet. It was like a Golden Corral buffet. Like, it was just all the food you could think of.
It was a food court of buffets.
Yeah, it was just buffet. And it had, like the whole middle of the restaurant. Like, you know, if you go to, like, Frisch's, and they have, like, the 2 bars right there. Or if you go to Golden Corral, it's all, like, on one side. It was just the whole middle was just buffets that you went through. It was, oh, man, it was awesome. I'm getting hungry. All right, Tony.
I'm comboing this pick.
Okay.
I want like a combo with one I already did, and it's mashed potatoes. Reason being is that I can now use my salad bar toppings, all my bacon, all my shredded cheese, all those things to make myself any decadent mashed potatoes I wanted.
That is a very good pick. You have another one as well.
So this one was kind of, just give me steak. There's always like a steak spot at Golden Corral. Just give me the steak.
Yeah, nice. I was thinking about, which I don't know if I still will or not, but like how you can go up there and get a slice of ham. But every time I go up there, the ham's shit.
Yeah, because it's like people go there and they're like, I enjoy the ham, but most people are just like, if I have an opportunity to get steak, that's what I get.
What is it like when the ham's just like super sweet?
Honey baked.
Is that what it is? I hate that, and that's what it always is.
Ham.
You like honey ham?
I like the mustard glaze.
Yeah, I like. I don't know what kind of ham.
Because you can't taste the mustard, but it like makes the outside.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big mustard guy.
All right,
We appreciate having you on, Bodhi. Appreciate you. He just messaged us on the.
Oh,
yeah, that's why I said that.
I was like, did he say that he liked buffets? All right, Adam, it goes back to you. You have mac and cheese and.
If I say chicken, is that just like all chicken?
Fuck you. Yeah,
you definitely can.
I mean, I had written down fried chicken specifically.
No, that's what I was thinking.
If
like
you drive
popcorn
chicken, you
like,
just get chicken.
Yeah, we're doing math. We're doing math.
Yeah,
things.
you get because like you guys can get any kind of pizza. You know what I mean? So
It's like we won his pizza. You have a dessert bar, and I got salad. And
well, fuck you. Okay. Jesus, I got my pizza in low
Just
vein.
let you
Damn
know,
it.
Shout out, Mr. Guthrie. I got the steak and potatoes.
Dude, it was.
I'm gonna be
we asked
6'7",
him
290.
3 food questions. He was like steak and potatoes.
No, for me, I love steak so
Steak
much.
and
I
potatoes.
couldn't. I know the kind of steak that usually comes out with these buffets. So I was like, you know what? If I'm at any of these places and I'm getting a steak, I'm not gonna get it from the buffet. I'm usually gonna order just a steak. And
because I feel like when you get from the buffet, it's well done.
Yeah, it's made
Nobody else
for-
is touching my buffet though.
That's true. That's true.
No
So
one.
Also, you have some guy coming in like, do I want this one?
Get your grubby ass.
Could you imagine just like at your house just having your own buffet every night? That'd be terrible. I'd be the size of the room. Like,
I hope to combo the steak too.
okay, so I'm gonna go in a different direction here real quick since we get 5 rounds. I'm gonna go breakfast buffet.
I
real
thought you were
quick.
about to say what I wanted.
And I'm gonna go with eggs, scrambled eggs, and then I'm gonna go with hash browns. You ever go to like Frisch's? They got the little circle hash browns there. Delish. So that's
Smart
what I'm
choice
gonna go
getting some
with.
breakfast in there. I love hash browns.
Eggs and hash browns.
Do you know I get a text at work when there's hash browns in the cafeteria in the morning? Swear to God.
Dude, okay, so what are your favorite hash browns of all
Rick,
time?
Ron, and Heather. You're the real ones.
What are your favorite hash browns of all time?
I just like the patty ones. I love all of them. Like, I'm not selective, but when you get it nice and fried, they always pick up the most fried piece for me.
So
I like the circle ones.
I do like the little circle ones. I do like fried ones, like the
McDonald's
kind of
ones.
stuff. But my favorite ones, specifically from IHOP, are the shredded ones. Though,
Yeah.
like on the whole plate. I don't know what it is about IHOPs, but like I could order like just a plate of those hash browns and absolutely destroy it. Adam, you are up. You have mac and cheese, a dessert bar, and chicken.
Give me the roll.
Damn it! I did not think you guys
So
would ever think of that.
I was just going to say bread. That was my combo.
Yeah.
I figured that when he started to say the B, I was like,
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything, you son of a...
well, I was getting.
You
roll
almost
no
said
matter
bread.
what.
I swear.
I
you
know.
were
I
like,
really thought that you guys were just not thinking.
Oh, I was
going to
get roll last one, but then I heard all this going
I
on.
wanted to
was
make
like,
a sandwich.
I was
thinking
getting roll
like
this one.
I was thinking more like just rolls at the end of the thing. You know
I
what
was
mean?
thinking
'Cause
like
that's what I
rolls
would've
to
had.
start off,
Yeah.
like your appetizer
I don't like the
rolls.
square ones though. I don't like those.
I like the like little circle ones.
Yeah.
I don't
those
like
are the
those
best.
ones. I want to roll.
I'm a big Hawaiian roll.
I want like a
guy.
sandwich.
Love Hawaiian rolls. All right, Tony.
Aloha.
You get 2 picks to end your draft because we're going 5 rounds. You have salad bar, mashed potatoes, and steak. I'm glad I've started writing down my picks before the draft, so I'm not just But now I have no picks left, so I don't know.
I was
what
going
I'm
to go
doing
no Italian if I got the bread, but I'll take lasagna.
Lasagna. Oh, nice.
Nice
That's-
pan. You can't really mess it
I
up
was
too
gonna
bad.
go spaghetti, but I already got.
I feel like it always
pasta.
gets, well, again, if it's your perfect buffet, but it's always
Yeah.
watery at buffets. They know they got to leave a little extra water in there because it's going to be under heat. But
All right, you got one more pick. That
Can't-
lasagna is a good one. I do
can't
like
pick a sweet, because I had to get the steak and potatoes. I had to be able to switch it up. Maybe I'll pick something breakfast, but eggs, bastard.
Could go fruit.
I
That'll be on
love
par
that.
with your salad bar.
Just,
I also feel like eggs too. Well, never mind. I'll shut the fuck up.
I just want some bread. Just give me chop. I don't have any bread for chopped steak. Shitballs. This is so. I just
Right.
love sandwiches.
I just love sandwiches.
Deadass, just give me a pan of turkey.
Damn, you really? You said a pan of turkey.
Yeah.
Okay. You just made me realize I was going to pick sliders for my last one, but I don't have bread. You made me just realize that. So
Yeah, he took
yeah,
the-
but we couldn't get like toast or anything
Bread
like
roll.
that. Yeah.
But you're not using the roll at all. I'd give sliders. You got to tell us what kind of slider, I guess.
Well, it's not my pick. Yeah, it has to go to Adam
yeah.
first. Adam.
I'm picking sliders.
I was like, as soon as I said it, I was like, "Fuck my life."
I'm going soup.
Really?
Oh, that's good.
I'm
Just
not a big
all
soup
soups. Well, I was thinking I was gonna go chicken noodle because that's like the best with rolls. But I was like, well, I already got chicken, so I don't got specify.
I would probably go if I had to pick a soup for a buffet. I'd probably just go with chili.
Yeah, well, I got it.
Chili
No, I
soup.
mean like what would you
That
pick
counts.
for your soup?
I was
soup
just
and
gonna, I was
chili.
just gonna go soups, like all soups. Like
Yeah, but if you had to pick, like say like you have soups, but like what would you say?
I don't personally like soups all that much. I'm just going. I'm going off a profit standpoint.
He said I fucking hate soup. Actually,
We're building the. I thought we were
I
building
just
this
want
thing
the
to own.
I like Italian wedding. That's
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, if I had to guess, like, well, not
I
guess.
had to guess what soup.
Gun
I
to my
like.
head, I had to force out a soup. I'd have to say, I don't even know if I would.
Is chili
consider
soup,
I was
though?
about
Is
to
that
say, I
what
don't
you
even know if
just
I
said?
consider chili a soup.
Is it
It's
so?
more of a
What is
stew.
it then?
Nah.
It's
So
more
what
of a
is it?
stew,
Is it
isn't
chowder?
I think it's like a consistency.
It's more
like
of a stew.
Yeah, like a stew
Really?
or like a
I
what would they
have
call
no
like a
idea what the
I don't
distinction
know.
is.
I-
like
between
a
soup or stew.
jambalaya,
It
but
just
I like
sounds-
chowder was actually a decent thing because that was like hearty, but
Yeah.
it's just
I hate clam.
it just
chowder,
has a
though.
lack of.
I think
If you got a chili with a bunch of water in it, what would you call it? You call it soupy.
I don't know. 'Cause
You'd
I put
almost
so
give
much,
it a different adjective. You'd be like, "Oh, this is soupy ass chili. It's not even like
I
hearty."
eat chili with my crackers, not crackers with my chili. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I
As
like
in,
that
I'm
too,
putting
though.
so much crackers in there, it would never be soupy.
Nice
Oh,
slice of
you'll never
peanut
guess
butter
what else
bread.
I put on mine on top of the crackers.
Cheese? Yeah, that's what I almost said peanut butter. I was like, nah, that ain't right.
No, you dip a peanut butter Sammy in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
chili probably be my favorite soup if it's technically a soup. If not, I'd have to go maybe like chicken noodle. But like
You could do like a chili
Thanksgiving
bar.
chicken
That's pretty
noodle.
solid.
Not none of this like canned.
See,
bullshit.
okay, I would go corn here, but you took my fucking mashed potatoes, and I just don't want to. I don't want to just eat corn, so I will go sliders if it's legal.
Yeah, you can have just bread or just burgers out there if you want.
Okay, so then I don't want. I don't want the
You
sliders.
can have sliders.
Are you sure? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm doing sliders.
What kind of slider though? You got to pick what kind of slider.
What do you mean? What kind of sliders?
Can't
Slider
be ham and
comes in a
cheese.
bowl.
They got all types of slider. You want
No, like
burger
burger
slider?
sliders. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Oh, actually, you know,
Can't have chicken sliders. That's off the menu.
Oh, roast
I-
beef.
no. Now that you say that, I want them like well, I don't know if those are like sliders. I couldn't. I think I have to go with burger sliders, just because if I go with like Jimmy John's sliders, like where they cut them up and like they just throw them out at like events and stuff like that, I think that's
I used to
getting,
do that.
that's getting too close to the rolls for me to have that. To where burger sliders, you're just getting a bun, so I'll just have to go with the burger sliders with pepper jack cheese specifically. So, all right. Well, I think that was a pretty good draft. We went back and forth. You guys took all my picks as well as. I mean, I got 2 of my picks I had on here, so that's fucking great for me.
We're so much better on the fly.
Yeah, you really are.
We never roll in with any like
No,
real.
I
We got our
usually do, but I
favorite.
didn't this
Yeah,
time.
I came in with a list, and
I always have like my 3 favorites, and I'm just like they'll be gone, so I'm just gonna have to think on the fly anyways.
I try to get like 15 people.
Yeah.
15 picks.
Not me.
I had 7, and I got.
Because I mean,
I
a
got
lot of times
2 of them.
I'll get like 15 picks, or ideally I'll have like 10, right? and you guys will take like 2 of them. I'm like, shit, I got like.
I
most
like
of my
flying on
stuff.
the draft. It just
Yeah.
makes me think on the spot.
Oh,
And
trust
I
me,
think
we
back
know.
and be like, irritating.
We know. What'd you pick, Tony? Talk for a minute so I can figure out what I want. Well, thank you again, Garett and Bodhi, for coming on the show. It was one hell of a show. Thank you guys for joining in. Welcome to the new and improved studio. Lot cooler in here, as in the AC works. But thank you guys for tuning in. Do not forget that next Thursday, August 8th, fantasy football draft at Creekside Occasion. Make sure you're there to support the local teens. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Clap.